Hello, hello, what's up everybody? Today we are having a good amount of StarCraft 2 coming up for you. Hopefully, at least. Let's hope they don't mess it up too much. Probably won't. We'll be okay, we'll be okay. I have a special co-caster here with me today as well. How about you introduce yourself? Alright, nice. Let me see actually. What the hell is happening here? For some reason, I couldn't hear you there. That is very odd, because you were extremely loud for me. And that should just go through the game, or the desktop audio, you would say. Could you try talking again? Very weird. I can, yeah, it's extremely loud as well, but for some reason the desktop audio is just not picking it up. I've never had this before. Wow, why would this be a thing? Why would this be a thing? Oh dear lord. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe. Hold up, I'm also having to do the thingamajigs. Weird thing is like, this is already there. Alright, we can try. Yeah, I suppose. Maybe it's because it goes through... Wait a moment. No, it goes through the right thing. This is so weird. This is so weird. Alright, let's try to restart. 1 sec. How about now? Nope. Nothing. Absolutely nothing.
The wrong mixer.
Oh, there we go.
Now it works?
I think so, yeah, it does work, but for some reason now my headphones aren't picking you up. It's through the speakers. I hate this. I hate this so much, man. Yeah, I'm sorry, man. I have no idea how to fix this quick.
Well, no worries.
I don't understand. This is so weird. I might have to solo cast this.
I could just, because I can speak Korean, I could just stay in the lobby.
I can't even hear you right now. Wow. All right. Yeah, I'm sorry, dude. I have no idea. Yeah, sure. All right. I'm gonna close this call then for now. I'm sorry, buddy. I'm sorry. Man, oh man. Gotta love surprises. Sorry guys, I had no time this morning to do anything. Like, I had such bad sleep for multiple days. I needed to actually have some decent sleep, and I did not have time for extra stuff this morning. And I never expected anything like that to go wrong. That is very, very silly. Alright, anyway. Alright, they're both ready. What the hell is happening here today? I can't hear the in-game things either. What the... Oh my god, how does something like this break? Was working fine yesterday. How about this? This may have fixed it, actually. This may have fixed it. Let me try again. Let me try calling him. Nope, nope, nope. Still not fixed. Okay, sorry, buddy. Alright, yeah, no, this is not... Oh my god, why? What in the... What? How? How can something like this go this badly all of a sudden? Why would this... Oh my dear lord. Alright, well at least that's coming through now on the stream. Alright, anyway. So some of the weirdest stuff I've ever done. In the bottom left side there's a blue Zerg. Looking to take some games here. He is the Freak Out Freaks, the DRG. On the top right side there is a pink Protoss fighting for Razor Edge Gaming. He is Zest. Alright. This is... so unsettling. Funny, little funny things. Suppose I hope a little bit here. This is so odd though, so peculiar. Okay. Now I have... So the desktop audio of my thing is just completely disconnected with the desktop audio of the other things. Peter God, why are you guys torturing yourself with these different casting hours and these different platforms? It's because, you know what, it's what the schedule fixes, or what's going to work for the schedule here. And it's also because the different platforms, some of them support us in a good way, and then the other ones, you know what, support less for us. So it's, that's a thing. Alright. So, I think maybe I fixed it. I'm really sorry, guys, for this. I've never had this problem before. Oh, in a single time here, I would have anticipated something like this to be a problem. Let me try again. Hello? Let's see. There we are. How about now?
So, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yep. I think we're good. I think I fixed it.
Nice.
All I had to do was change all of my audio settings for some reason. I mean, apparently, my PC hates me today. All right. Anyway, what's happening in this game so far is that, you know what, one Ling died, and that just happened over there, so we didn't miss a thing, luckily, as well. DRG had his hatchery blocks right here, and that's about it. That's about it. Going for a quick, well, not that quick of a third base, actually. And the 10 claves from Zest. The bread and butter. It's kind of funky, because, you know what, Zest is the person that, of course, came up with this build. And DRG is the person who came up with the counter for the build, so it feels like we're kind of meeting these two titans overall in figuring this out. And now we're gonna see hopefully the best player that in execution going up against the best player in the defense of this.
I gotta say, I kind of expected Zest to go for more DTs because he was really DT heavy in the past few tournaments. But going for the adept all in once again, I don't know, kind of like it on this map.
Kind of like it, yeah. All right. Well, we'll have to wait and see. We'll have to see whether or not this works. I think DRG is pretty well set for the defense, though, right? He has like a spine crawler as that third base. He has a good amount of links. He's already got roaches on the way here. We'll have to wait and see, though. Those queens as well really taking the brunt of the force. The Shade not going to be able to complete, and yeah, that is a rough one. Completes around now.
Looking at all the adepts now. And does Zest really have a follow-up to this? What's his plan?
Nope. How many gateways did he have yet? I guess he has 4, so this is not a complete all-in a sense, but like to not do pretty much any damage, that is pretty disgusting, especially because he traded unfavorably as well. Together with the, you know, just the links and being the mute shield there, taking really the most amount of damage. The queens continuously transfusing one another. There we go, there's 2 drone kills. Maybe we'll get a couple more with these 3 adepts. You know, it's never over until it's over.
It's funny, 16 adepts couldn't do what 3 adepts did.
Yeah, the 3 adepts hit squad with the War Prism. I mean, it's always, whenever it's, you know what, when you're not prepared for it, when you don't anticipate something happening, the surprise will get you.
It always does. It always does. Zest going for the Nexus now at the third base location and getting a bunch of sentries. So I'm guessing there will be a follow-up push with a lot of energy and a lot of force fields.
All right. You also see the Forge coming up here with the third base. A little bit of mixed messaging, yeah. With all the sentries, that's very likely for another push, but then also grabbing himself the parts for the later game. So maybe he just wants to do a bit of pressure instead of actually committing to the push. That could be a thing here. Yeah, only Zest will tell. And Aspire from DRG, you know, it's sticking to his true colors.
Yeah, literally the signature Spire.
Yeah.
I wonder, where did he build it?
It's in front of his natural.
Okay. Because, do you remember the TSL? When he played against Petit Drogo and he just built it in the middle of, like, in between the natural and the third base and tried to cover it with overlords?
Yeah. Yeah, it's always funny when that happens. I mean, the DRG, one of those players that will do that stuff sometimes. Always fun to see. Templar Archives as well on the way right now here. And 13 Mutalisks. Honestly, as soon as those Templars are here, I assume we're going to get a couple of Archons being warped initially. Especially once he sees the Mutaswitch. Which he doesn't know about just yet.
He's going for the Phoenix Scout right now. Let's see if he gets a glimpse on that. Yeah, he saw the Spire.
By the way, could you do me a favor real quick?
Sure. And
turn off the webcam thing. I think it may actually be not that great for my yeah, I think the overall FPS will go up for me now.
Okay.
Sorry about that. Okay, continue
Yeah,
on. What were you saying about the Mutalisk?
The Spire just got scouted by the hallucinations. He did get some cannons in his mineral lines as well, but the Mutalisks are trying to get something done in the natural. Stalk is there to prevent any further damage.
Mm-hmm.
But oh, nice contamination on that forge.
Yeah, it's always nice to see. Just in a nick of time. This is a lot of speed overlords actually coming up here. I'm wondering what that plan is with this. I mean, he is bulking them all up here together. Definitely seems planned. What if he just goes to like a massive link drop somewhere?
He just drops on top of the army, taking away all the force fields.
Yeah. Would be crazy. Well, he's not going for it. Okay, he pulls them back again. Probably just making a ton of overlords there at the same time. Right, there's storms, but there's actually no Archons here. The storm's still dealing very well with the Mutalisk though, and immediately quite low overall.
Did Zest lose any unit there?
I don't think so, no. Maybe one Stalker. One Stalker, and that's about it. Bit unfortunate. But to be fair, like only... Well, that was 6 Mutalisks still. Only 6 Mutalisks. That's only 600 minerals and 600 gas.
If you're a Zerg, you can afford this. No
Yeah.
problem.
He has an extra base, doesn't he? Let's take a look at the income as well. Actually, you know what? DRG looks like he will be able to get this sorted still with the economy that he has. Liking these overlords being spread out as well here from DRG. Very, very clean overall map awareness right now. Pretty much every single corner is being spotted for him. Zest, on the other hand, I mean, he has one observer somewhere in front of DRG's natural base, and that's about it. Definitely could cause a bit of trouble. He's fighting with these Mutalisks rather a lot here versus these Stalkers. I wasn't quite expecting this.
Neither was I. Just taking the fight head on like a madman there is DRG. And now he's trying to swing around to the natural? No. To the third base, I mean.
Right. Yeah, it's definitely a weird one. Not a fight you often see. Usually those Stalkers will be able to force those Mutalisks back. DRG, I guess, trying to micro in between those little choke points there to deny that really from being a good fight. But, I mean, it's together with all the cannons and the shield batteries. It's a rough one.
Well, DRG is on 81 workers right now, so he can afford to do some trading with those Mutalisks. But he has to be careful not to be caught with them, because Zest is just about to... Man, he's just committing completely.
Yeah, it's like, alright, well, here we go. It's really, I mean, he is the king of the Stalkers, or the king of the Mutalisk after all. He built a gazillion spine crawlers back at home in order to hold off the counterattack. He realized, you know what, I'm doing so much damage. Probably the one way for Zest to still win this one is by moving across the map here. That's exactly what he's doing. The Mutalisk need to just not clump up here because of the Storm and the Archons. It's a little bit unfortunate that he didn't have a lot of Zerglings here to help fight together with the spine crawlers, but he still has more spine crawlers on the way. Actually, he just goes for the counter-attack anyway, so...
Oh, needs to be careful though. There are High Templars with Storm. Oh my god. Oh, those Storms.
Yeah, those Mutalisks are all really low right now. The cannons are having a field day. One-shotting pretty much with every shot a Mutalisk. One more Storm there to blow some more up, and... I mean, Zest really only sending back the minimum of the overall units that he had to save that base, and now he's still going forwards with this offensive as well. Storm here landing pretty nicely on those Zerglings, really softening them up. And the Mutalisk still low on the HP, of course. It looks like Zest may have done this one. And there it is, GG!
GG indeed. Oh, it's like Zest, are you really that mad? There are Mutalisks in your natural and Zerglings in your third, and you're going for the base trade against the Zerg.
Yeah,
And then
yeah, really.
and then there were those storms on those Mutalisks, and everything changed in the nick of time.
Yeah, yeah. Also, the Mutalisk overall just continuously trying to trade there. I was a little bit perplexed with that decision making overall. I'm wondering what that was really planned to be. Because overall it felt like he was just losing value, and maybe if he was a little bit more careful with his overall Mutalisk at the start, maybe it would have been a little bit easier for him. There's the ambulance coming for TOG already. It's too early, guys. He's not dead yet.
Call the ambulance, but not for us.
He's only oh well. It's only one game down.
Calm down, guys. You know, it's funny. The ambulance sounds the same in Germany and where you are at.
Does it? Oh, that's pretty cool.
I wonder if all the European countries came together and were like, okay, we are in this union. Everything has to sound the same.
Yeah, maybe. I don't actually know exactly. I'm really bad at recognizing the sirens anyway. As well, that could have been a fire truck for all I know. Right. There's both saying let's go. So here we are. Off to another dreamland, Everdream this time.
What's your favorite map in the map pool? In the current map pool?
For me, I really like Ice and Chrome right now. I think it provides a lot of nice macro games and a lot of macro games with a lot of harassment opportunities, because there's so many alleyways and little pathways you can take to cause a stir in the overall game. What about you?
I'm not sure. I'm kind of the Eternal Empire guy. But sometimes I like myself some Ice and Chrome as well.
Yeah.
Just not against Zerg.
Yeah, I can get behind that. Anyway, let's take a look. In the bottom left side, we have somebody that's gonna get his hatchery blocked right here. He's the Red Zerg from the Afrika Freaks. He is DRG.
And spawning in the top right corner, he's the blue Protoss player representing Raise Your Edge Gaming. Give it up for Zest.
All right.
You know, I had an interview with Zest a couple of months ago.
Oh.
We were talking about his past in Casper Teams.
Yeah.
Was actually quite interesting. Like,
Okay.
the whole thing, how he became a pro gamer. At the same talk with Parding as well. Parding was a lot more fun, though.
Yeah, he's a bit more outgoing of a personality, isn't he?
Well, Parding was like his parents never liked when he played video games, especially StarCraft, because he played a lot.
Yeah.
So he would always lie to them and say, "Hey, I'm going to the school or to some club or something," and then he'd just go to the PC bunk to play StarCraft.
Don't worry, parents. I'm going to the club to drink booze and, you know what, do all sorts of other dirty dancing and things like this. And they're like, all right, yes, that's good. Just don't play that video game. It's like...
Funny thing is, though, like both of them became pros in 2010, 2009 through the amateur tournaments that were going on back then.
Okay.
And both of them had the same experience with their parents, where they at first were really careful and didn't really like the direction they were going in. And then after they made it into a team, both of them were pretty much supported by their parents,
Okay.
which is really interesting. Yeah, it's true.
Interesting indeed, yeah. I mean, it's always that, you know, it's the job of a parent, right? To kind of be concerned about those types of things for your children, being like, well, you know what, a lot of people try this type of stuff. I'm not quite sure if you're cut out for this one, but, you know, as soon as you do get yourself sorted in a good position with a good team, with a couple of sponsors and money is coming in there, they can change their tone, of course. I think that must be for a lot of players, right?
Yeah, I think so as well. Like, I don't know, gaming and esports in general is just not that conventional type of job. Like,
Yeah, true.
we are still figuring out where this whole branch is going, especially for like people that are not 20 anymore.
Yeah.
What are you doing as a pro gamer afterwards? Like, a lot of pro gamers just transition into a different thing. Like, this is not the best.
Yeah. I mean, it's a tough one, isn't it? You have to try and find some other way to perhaps participate in the esports scene or anything else. But there is a big Adept Glaive attack coming up here right now. We are seeing the Adepts trying to shade in, but not quite finding an opportunity here. Will he spread out? No, he won't actually.
Okay, so Zest is already taking gases, so he is looking into the transition already. I'm curious what he decides to go for. If it's just Immortals, or if he's going a little bit more creative, maybe some Dark Templars, maybe this game.
Yeah, possibly. I mean, he is, you know, actually committing now. He's still making more and more Adepts as well on this side of the field. He's not really building probes. He's not really building much of anything at home still. So I'm very curious as to where this is going to be taken here. He's now fighting Roaches straight up with those Adepts. Usually not the best way, and getting fully surrounded, this could be problematic. Does he have enough? Does he just barely have enough here? I'm not quite sure.
Keep in mind, behind all of this, DRG is not building any drones. He's just committing to Zerglings and Roaches. I think if this attack by Zest doesn't work out too well, we'll just see a counter attack by DRG with a bunch of Zerglings and a bunch of Roaches to break whatever Zest is trying to do next.
Alright, yeah, that's definitely a possibility here. And you were right as well, there is the Dark Shrine here coming up right now for Zest, so that is going to be the follow-up. Do we already have Spore Crawlers? We do, right? Yeah, there's Spore Crawlers in every base, so I know I'm a little bit worried for Zest here, but I was worried for him the previous game too, and we all know how that ended up.
Classic Zest. He's doing stuff you think is bad, but then it turns out amazing, and you're like, okay, I guess I don't know this game at all.
I guess it's actually looking a little bit better than it did the previous time. He did get the 8 drones, right? He didn't trade unfavorably with his Adepts. Did clean up a lot of Zerglings, and those could have been drones as well, so overall, I guess it depends on how much Zest is going to be investing into these DTs and how much they will get done. If they really get shot down heavily, this, you know what, the small advantage that Zest has right now could just turn around very quickly.
With all the Zerglings on the map, I think Archons would be a great choice as well. There he goes.
How many Roaches do we have? We have 10 Roaches right now. That are, wait, these are Overlords. Where are these Roaches? They are okay, they are here. Yeah, I really need those against those Archons. Man, You've ever tried killing Archons with Zerglings?
That sounds like a fun time
This
for the
one, my dear
Protoss
lord.
player.
Yeah. That is not something you want to be finding yourself into doing. Anyway, yeah, Zest did get himself a third base behind this. He's still kind of, you know what, stopping the probe production. So I'm wondering whether or not this is going to be another little bit of an all-in here. But okay, well, commits onto 3 locations at the same time, and I mean, it's not really an all-in if you kill about like half the worker line of your opponents right now. And that's exactly what he's doing. He's stopping all the mining on every which location as well. This is actually getting a little bit disturbing here for DRG. I think Zest may have done it again here with the Archons and the Adepts. Look at that, trading out favorably. Not even needing the Archons to shoot. GG is called. Well,
But Zest,
man.
didn't DRG figure out how to defend those Glaive Adept builds? Zest is just like, yeah, but if you keep making them, you can't lose.
It's like, alright, well, I know I can still do other stuff afterwards. Yeah, it's kind of weird though. Like, it doesn't... Usually what I'm used to is seeing people either going for the Adept aggression and then getting a bunch of kills, gaining the upper hand, or I'm used to seeing people kind of, you know what, not finding the kills they want. If they do still commit, they usually are far behind. And if they, you know, don't commit, there's still quite a potential for a follow-up attack. Zest here, a little bit in the middle ground, right? He's finding some damage. He's not really doing game-ending damage, but yeah, it is still working out for him rather well.
He always finds those really good trades against Zerglings. I don't know how he does it. He just shades somewhere, and for some reason DRG doesn't have his Zerglings on top of the shades.
Yeah.
And he lets the shade finish, and then Zerglings come in, but they get wrecked by the Adepts. And afterwards he's like, okay, you just traded like 30 lava for 16 Adepts. I guess I'm ahead. And transitions into Dark Templar, which is a dangerous tech.
Yeah.
Because it can work in your favor or it can just kill you straight up. And he's going for the hedge block once again, isn't he?
I think so, yeah. Very, very early on. Let's see if there's no okay, yeah.
He's for the forge.
I'm wondering, DRG, we're seeing him kind of doing the professional play here, right? Where he's like still going with the regular timing. He's not being like, alright, let me just get a 16 hatch or a 15 hatch. Right, none of that stuff. He's just like, alright, let me just send the drone out a little bit quicker before the 200 minerals so I have time to move elsewhere if I need to. That's exactly what he's doing here again. And this means he will still have around the 300 minerals as soon as he arrives at this base. So, you know, overall not taking too much damage in that sense, right? Not being delayed too much, but it does make it a lot easier for the Adept attack to kind of divide and conquer your opponent. As the power of those shades, of course, really is the more distance you can put between the Adepts and the shades, the more distance that DRG's units will have to be split up apart from, right? Because you have to defend both locations.
Yeah, like just getting the Zerg to not have as much creep spread between the main and the natural, or the natural and the third, is a good way of starting this attack up, because the Zerg isn't able to follow your shades as easily and as quick.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. That is a good point as well. Let's see if it is going to be the Adept Shades again, though. I mean, I have seen Zest recently in his... well, I actually need to do the points still. There we go. I have seen... I was ahead of you, Sushi, this time. What was I saying? Right, I was casting Zest beforehand a couple of times with some... I think it was with a Solar. And Solar actually did cut Zest off quite a bit and managed to beat him... kind of nicely, honestly. Now, Zest did go for a cannon rush 3 times in a row or something like that. Absolutely insane. And twice, the first 2 times, it just didn't work at all. Solo made it look silly. And then the 3rd time, it finally worked, and then he stopped cannon rushing. But, yeah, he did try some other stuff other than the Twilight Council, and that's what we're seeing over here as well. Going for the Stargates. Now, maybe we're seeing the Twilight Council Adept Glaive opening a little bit more so, because it is the best of 5, so he needs less games to win here, so... You know what, just winning 2 quick games with the Adept Glaives and then going for something else, just to kind of add variety and unpredictability overall to your play. Seems like a solid choice. It does get scouted though rather early on here by DRG, and honestly, so far I'm liking DRG's position maybe the best out of all the other games right now. Even though nothing much has happened yet.
I also think that Isenchrome is not the best map if you want to go for Glaive Adept all-in. Because it is a really, really big map.
Yeah.
And really big maps have the downside that if you want to hit a timing attack, it gets really hard because you have to cross that much distance.
Yeah.
Now, Zest did go for... Okay, he's going for 3 oracles. This should look like a pretty macro-oriented build, right?
Yeah, it looks like he will try to get himself a quick 3rd base here. DRG, though, being aware that this is the Stargate opening, I'm expecting him to just keep droning up here. Gets about 10 links, a kind of a safety precaution. I would be surprised if he adds a lot more than this, though.
What I'm curious about is why is Zest not on the other side of the map with his oracles killing drones? He's moving across now, but I have the feeling that now would be a good timing for DRG to hit that base with his circlings either way.
Yep.
And not having those oracles there might turn out to be a problem. Now he's taking off some queens, which is always a nice thing to do. Going for bunch of drones as well. 2 drones. Could have been better. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, for sure. Honestly, maybe he was just trying to, like, because he knew he got scouted, right? So the 1 oracle not very likely to do a lot. Maybe if he goes up to 3 oracles and then suddenly comes in, he might still surprise DRG in a certain location and gain some value that way. But yeah, as you said as well, 1 queen, 2 drones. It's not the game-ending damage you're really looking for with 3 oracle investments, is it?
Interestingly enough, DRG didn't go full on ahead on drones. I think it was the pick show with Sarah as a guest, and he went like, okay, if I see a Stargate, I just mass produce drones.
Yeah.
And in that situation, that would have been perfect because the oracles didn't come across to kill any workers, and DRG would have been in a great spot right now. As it is, though, he is equal in workers, where he could be ahead in workers.
Yeah. Yeah, I fully agree with that, honestly. But, well, we have been seeing this new change-up sometimes as well after the Stargate from a lot of Korean Protoss. Where, well, actually also non-Korean Protoss right now. But anyway, what they do is they still go for the Stargate opening, and then they go for the Twilight Council directly afterwards. And then you don't have the War Prism, so you know what, the overall distance of walking does become amplified because you don't have to just cross it a single time, but multiple times if you want to reinforce it. But if you just get a good clump of adepts, you still will be able to do quite a bit, especially, you know, if that regular response of just droning up does occur for the Zerg. And that wasn't really the case. We didn't have that, so it would have been wonderful for DRG in this sense to really drone up like a madman.
Oh, 1 oracle. You know, I wonder if the oracle saw it coming. It was just like, I have 1 HP left, the shields are here, but queens, you know?
Yeah.
It accepted its fate.
I need to reduce this range a little bit more, I think.
Take it down to 5 range. Come on.
Exactly. Infestation pit now on the way. Honestly, I like Zest's position still again here. I mean, he's been keeping up with the overall worker counts, and I mean he's looking solid. He's been picking off Zerglings left, right, and center. He's been killing queens here and there, some drones, not an enormous amount, but still doing pretty okay.
I like the style Zest is going for here. He's going for the Blinkstalker Colossus based army with a lot of good force fields, and well, Eisenchrome has a lot of positions where you can force field really well. This army is going to be super hard to kill because you have so many choke points and you create even more with the force fields. Now Spire is coming in, and Colossi don't do well against Mutalisks.
They don't, no, for sure. But like, he does have those stalkers underneath to kind of protect it. Very often, what I feel like is what happens in these types of situations. We're gonna have DRG get himself a bunch of Banelings, and as long as the Banelings manage to get good connections, that is just going to be the end of it. So a lot of it here will come down to just overall positioning from DRG and how Zest maneuvers across the map, right? So if DRG comes in from 2 different angles with Banelings, that could already be a death sentence. I guess the sentry, of course, as you said, a ton of sentries right now available, a lot of energy there, so definitely a potential of keeping them at bay, but then it comes down again to the biles of DRG here. Let's take a look. This is a pretty nice spread for his army coming in from 2 sides right now. The force fields, that's a lot of force fields you need for this location right here. Zest maybe a little bit too quick. The Banelings getting closer and closer, and those are some pretty nasty connections right now. But the Banelings are gone. The Colossi are still going strong right now, but it may just be a little bit too much for DRG here, I'd say. Right, especially with, what was it, 50 more links coming up here. Yeah, the whopping of the stock's not gonna happen. Nice Biles shooting down the War Prison there.
Yeah, but don't forget, behind all of this, Zest managed to take out the 4th base completely. 22 drones have fallen there because he did set up another attack in the meantime with a bunch of zealots, and man, I love that timing. I almost loved that timing for Zest so much because he had the range upgrade for the Colossi and the +2 attack upgrade syncing up perfectly. He just went on to creep a little bit too quick, and that gave DRG the opportunity to engage this this push of Zest from 2 different angles and catch him in an area where Zest couldn't really abuse any choke points.
Yeah, for sure. And even with all that advantage, as you mentioned, for DRG, I suppose, location-wise, it wasn't that clean of a fight, was it? Like, he didn't completely stomp Zest there. And in fact, it looks like he lost a lot more money overall than Zest did in the attack. And, as you mentioned as well, the killing of the drones in that 3rd base. Rather disgusting there for DRG. And yeah, I mean, I said that DRG was looking good earlier on, and it's not really the case anymore. He does get that disruptor though.
No. Keep in mind, DRG did get the +2 melee attack upgrade, so any Baneling is now a threat for Zest's mineral lines. And DRG has been looking to get some shots in already. See how this engagement goes. Okay, nothing too big happening.
Yep.
And if you look at the 3rd base of Zest, there are so many drone probes stacked on top of each other because the shield battery and the cannon just make them stack up. If a Baneling runs in there, there are 8 kills for 1 Baneling, guaranteed.
Yeah, that could be rather disgusting. Zest actually ramping up the pressure here will not allow something like that to happen too easily. Coming in from multiple angles, a lot of Banglings connecting onto the Archons right now. And that's going to give free reign for Zest's army on the bottom side, all those Stalkers really. And more Zealots as well to just come in for a little bit more for free. And yeah, DRG has to tap out. Man, Zest is looking on fire today, isn't he?
He looks really strong. His PvZ is just on another level. Like, in that last attack right there, he was off with his timing by 5 seconds or something, because his +3 attack was about to finish. And imagine how those Archons and Zealots would have wrecked everything on the ground with that +3 attack upgrade.
Yeah, for sure.
You really got to respect Zest right now. Looking super strong.
For sure. And not just using the adapt attack continuously either. Did mix it up a little bit. Yeah, and even when he did, I mean, he came up with different follow-ups afterwards as well, right? So it wasn't just the same thing afterwards either. Very, very clean game there for Zest. Alright, we're going up into the next one right here, the next best of 5. Let me just get rid of Zest here from the party.
Get out of here.
Zaun, and where is our dream? There he is. Zaun suggested dream. There we are. Zaun always looking out for me.
Best man.
A nice guy. As all the Alpha X's are. Alright, so PvT. What would you say is an equal balanced map? I know you're a Terran player, so what would you say would be the most balanced match right here for these two?
You know what? It's either Eternal Empire or Death Aura.
Eternal Empire or Death Aura? I mean, we started with Eternal Empire last time, so let's do a Death Aura this time around.
Sounds good to me.
Is that a fair thing to do? All right. Let's hope Dream and Zaun both agree with you here. Just trying to get you a little bit of the tension that I always feel, right? It's been like
Zaun is already challenging our decision.
He is?
Yeah, he's like, first map, from the first map on, it's a Terran map. Dream is like, haha.
Alright,
Sounds like fun.
Well, I mean, they're gonna probably blame me for this.
All mind games. Don't listen to him.
It's probably still going to be my fault. Alright, oh well.
He gets to choose the second map if he doesn't like it.
Yeah, he's fine. Don't worry about it, guys. He's gonna he's gonna have at least one map choice after this.
I guarantee you it's going to be Eternal Empire. If he loses this, next map is Eternal Empire.
You think so? Yeah, maybe. What else could he choose, really?
I guess he could go for Golden Wall if he feels really aggressive today.
Yeah. You know what? That could happen, actually. I know Zaun likes to do some weird carrier stuff there sometimes. Usually more so against a Zerg. I'm not sure if he does this against Terran too, but we'll have to wait and see. Honestly, only watching these games unfold will really give us a clear indication as to what they want to do. But anyway, starting off here on Death Aura. He is the blue Protoss, a little bit disappointed with the map that he's starting on. He is Zaun from Alpha X.
And representing Bravestar Gaming, he is the Red Terran, he is the man that hunts you in your nightmares, he is Dream.
Dream a cool guy as well, not gonna lie. Always cool to see him play. He's been really ramping up overall his win records, I would say. getting better and better results, it feels like. Against better and better opponents, so I'm a little bit worried here for Zaun. So what do you think the overall score might turn out to be with these two?
You know, I really want to see Zaun win, but Dream is just looking so strong lately. So I'm guessing a 3-1 for Dream.
Alright. Alright, and Zaun winning this map, right? Of course.
Yeah, of course. Because this is, in fact, Protoss favorite map.
Exactly. Those War Prisms go, like, banana speed through the middle there. Should have no
The
problem.
War Prism goes zoom.
Exactly. Alright.
I have seen Dream play this map a bunch of times already, and every time he is looking for a tank supported bio army, which is super interesting to see.
Yeah.
And he really likes to transition into nukes as well with those ghosts. I think I saw him play against Creator in one of the Olimo leagues,
Okay.
and it just looked so beautiful how he played it. Now Zaun is somebody who will hit before that stage even arrives. So
Yeah.
I'm curious how he is going to break Dream, because this is a build where Dream could get a little bit more aggressive. Now Zaun is already on top of him. Oh my god.
Oh my, this is the problem with not getting that safety bunker. We'll chase down that adept here. Alright, well,
Same
you
thing
killed him.
happened in the team league as well, didn't it?
Did it? I didn't see that one.
I don't quite remember who he played against. I think it was Astria and no, Showtime? One of those
know.
two. And they just went across the map with their first stalker and killed like 5 Marines, killed everything else that Dream was planning to do, and just really stomped him.
Yeah, I mean, if you make it a habit not to get that early bunker, then people are gonna realize this and start abusing the fact that you don't have that much at home in the early game.
Wait,
That's
give me a
always good to
break, Zaun. You're going for a 4-gate blink?
He's doing it, yeah. War Prism as well on the way here. Still has to watch out a little bit for those Hellions, of course, that are on the prowl. It's 4 of them now, a little bit more dangerous than the initial 2. These ones might actually get a couple of probe kills with a shield battery present.
Oh, the medivac is coming across the map as well, being boosted to pick up those medivacs. But Zaun has his stalkers in position now.
Yeah, he must have seen this somehow, right? He does have an observer there. I think the observer must have spotted this, because these stalkers are really in a nice position to hold against it. Let's take a look at... There's nothing else really happening for Dream. He is making a Liberator, but it's going to take a while before that is also going to be able to be sent across the map here. And Zaun, I mean, taking the opportunity, because he did kill that amount of the Marines early on, right? 4 Marines. That's a boatload. We'll just drop these stalkers right on top of the tank. Gone, just like that. Who needs Blink?
I was looking at this and I was like, man, this tank is really safe.
Oh my dear
Like,
Lord.
there should not happen. Nothing should happen there, like, at all. And then Zaun just goes, oh, 1 Marine, Raffle, and drop on top of the tank.
Oh my god, even blinking forward there. Super aggressive right now. Very decisive too, though, to be fair. Very good to see him being this decisive, but losing a couple of the stalkers there that I could have picked up. Overall, I guess that's because he's actually microing against the Hellions as well, that are trying to do quite a bit of damage. Stacking up his probes, that could be absolutely horrendous, but okay. Zaun does clean that up in time here. Still cleaning up the SCVs on the other side, though. Oh my dear Lord, Dream is in a lot of trouble.
In a lot of trouble indeed, and Zaun is not done yet. He didn't take a 3rd base yet, so bunch of more Stalkers coming in, and with the drop defended, he might just take all of his Stalkers that he has at home and walk across the map to give Dream just that extra kick.
Yeah, I mean, he doesn't need that much more anymore, right? Man, how do you call this? It's the weak man of Death Aura right now. The sick man of Death Aura, ready to fall over Dream here. Although he does have a bit of a better setup right now for just aggressive blinks, right? It becomes a lot more difficult to jump on those siege tanks when they are supporting one another. They have covering Fields of Fire. There's a couple of Marauders now mixed in with Bio that they don't have Stim yet. That's potentially a little bit of a weakness.
I think you can even snipe the Stim from the low ground.
Oh, that would be nasty, wouldn't it? Is he aware that this is happening though? Yeah, I mean, he can see it, so he probably, you know, he doesn't know that that is Stim, but that's a good call actually, yeah. If he does find that opportunity, that could be massive. There is a siege tank now kind of protecting it.
Nice scan, getting that observer once again. He already killed 2 observers, didn't he?
Let's take a look. Yeah, he killed 2 of them. But he also lost 2 siege tanks and a Liberator and 17 SCVs. So I'm really liking Zaun's position here. He does have that 3rd base established right now as well. So he's just transitioning, right? He's getting a double forge, extended thermal lance, charge, all that good Broodal stuff that you need to go into the mid game with.
Yeah, he's really just transitioning right now, and he has to be careful not to be caught off guard while he is transitioning. He's picking off a lot of those Marines, which is really nice to slow down the push, to weaken it. Needs to be careful though not to be too cocky and get those tank shells in.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, he's delaying this push by so much though now, with just being a little bit of a pokey boy.
Pokemon.
Pokey boy. No, but yeah, you saw that Dream, like, he moved like 1 meter and he had to re-siege there. That was kind of ridiculous. So I almost already giving up right now on this attack here, just by the amount of delay that is occurring. And even now, wow, Zaun finding the opportunity again, making great use of that War Prism. Zealots absolutely wrecking the economy even further for Dream here. More losses being taken as, you know what, Dream trying to scramble all his forces back right now. Did have a good amount of reinforcements in his main base, but nothing really to defend that 3rd with, so perhaps a little bit fortunate for Zaun to come in from the right angle. He's actually fully committed now to this attack. I'm not quite sure if I like this. I don't think he needs to do this, but he might just come out on top here, just barely. Nope, okay, he will lose his army here. I mean, after killing those 18 SCVs, didn't really have to commit there anymore, did he?
No, not really. I think if he had all of those zealots with him in the army, that army could have crushed Dream. But since those zealots got cleaned up first, and then there were only 4 zealots left, kind of tanking, but not really. Yeah. He just didn't have the bulk anymore to really do something about it. But he's engaging now in the middle of the map. The War Prism micro is beautiful, and those zealots are just tanking.
Yeah, doing a great job there. A lot of stimmed units that are in the red and the orange, so those Colossi having a ball of a time, taking out so many units right now. The Medivacs, not all of them on a lot of energy either anymore, so it's become a weird battle for Dream here, where it just kind of has to fall back and try to heal up as much as possible before really coming in here again for any type of engagement. But you know what, with another warp in, a lot of zealots right here, I think we may have ourselves a victor being crowned very, very quickly here.
Yeah, this looks pretty good for a Zaun. Terran map.
Terran map. Ridiculous. Alright. Maybe he was just trying to fill Dream with a little bit of overconfidence, which wasn't what Dream needed. Submarine. Here we go. Submarine is a very nice looking map, I would say. It's one of those color schemes that you really haven't seen from a lot of other maps, if that makes sense.
Yeah, but at the same time, I think we missed out on the dead units floating to the top.
Ah, yes. That is always the fun thing, right? Especially observing, just kind of being able to follow those up. That's always a good time. But yeah, we're continuing onwards. Guys, remember there is a Mecherino code. If you haven't already done so, we highly recommend and ask that you grab that code, go to the Mecherino page and fill out the code. For free. You will add a bit of money to the overall prize pool, and that will support Alpha X quite a bit. It will support these players, of course, because they'll have a bit more money to work with, and overall just a great thing for us, for you guys as the viewers, because facilitates more sponsors into StarCraft 2 if you do the quests as well. And that just means more StarCraft overall, right? More prize pools, more new people coming in, because well, obviously sponsors get money from it, so they keep investing, and that keeps the wheel rolling. All right. On another Terran map right here, the blue Protoss. Looking pretty good so far. He is from Alpha X. He is Zone.
And the red Terran player, who's currently down 1-0, he has to bring it back to make this a good series. He is Dream. Obviously representing Bravestar Gaming.
Alright. Wondering what Dream will bring to the table this time. I just really think he needs to get himself that safety bunker up a little bit quicker, because he just takes so much damage right now. And then, you know what? Maybe you would say for Marines, is that really that much? Yes, it is that much. In the early game, that really did feel like the moments where it became a possibility for Zaun to use that Warp Prism to just float into the main base and take out a siege tank for free.
I agree. Like, Terran units scale with mass. The more units you have, the better. But if you just don't have any, it gets difficult. It gets really difficult.
Especially in the early game, right? When you have a small amount of Protoss units versus a small amount of Terran units, usually the Protoss should be able to come out on top. And if you manage to just keep the Terran on the low counts, then you should be in a good spot to just kind of try to snowball that into a magnificent lead, and that's exactly what we saw. And Zaun took amazing advantage of those leads that he had achieved.
This time around, we see Dream going for a little bit of a different opening. He is getting that Reaper first, getting a Marine as a follow-up just to be super safe. We might even see an early bunker.
I hope so.
You already go for that. Like, if you already commit to the Marine, why not also commit to the bunker?
Did he make a secondary? Oh, the second supply depot is at his own main base. I see. All right, so yeah, there is that bunker. That is a good timed bunker, and shouldn't be taking any early damage this time around. I feel like maybe it's a little bit later, because usually Terrans, they like to use that second supply depot SCV to make the bunker with, but because that second supply depot was so much further away, we may have a little bit of an opportunity here for Zaun. And actually, oh my god, look at that. That really is just one of the tiniest amounts of little things, right, that makes StarCraft 2 a beautiful game. The supply depot was built further away. That won't do much, right? Well, I guess it really didn't do too much, but still almost... luckily for Dream, there was a second SCV there ready to help finish that bunker there. Otherwise, that could have been a lot worse.
Man, just imagine that second SCV having to come from the main base.
Yeah.
Oh my god. The Marine would have been dead.
Yep.
The SCV might not even have reached the bunker, but now for a scouting Hellion, that was a lot of damage.
Yeah.
Not gonna lie.
Yeah, 3 probes there. It's that's nothing to squeeze at or to sneeze at. Sneeze, right? I don't know. It's English. It's good enough. People understand. Anyway, but yeah, I mean, coming back to overall this adept scenario as well. I want to point out, right? You said the Marine would have died, but also the adept wouldn't have taken as much damage because the Marine went into the bunker and then got to free shoot on that adept for a long time. So and that was why the adept died as well. In a way, right? Because you have the Reaper coming in later on as well. Yeah.
You were talking about the Zoom Prism in the last match. Now there is a Disruptor drop with the War Prism speed on the way.
Alright, here we go.
Oh my god, Widowmine!
One not gonna get a big shot there. The other one in the main base. Ooh, okay, gets 3? Really? That got 3? Wait, he got 1 on the other one, didn't he? That must have been the case. I'm pretty sure that was the case. Alright, I'm gonna keep my eye out for this one. Oh, the Disruptor. Didn't get a good shot off there, it looks like.
Did he even drop it at all?
Yeah, he did drop it. I saw it getting picked up, but I think he just moved away from the drop location. So Zaun was just like, all right, well, never mind. I'm not gonna try to make this investment right now. Oh, but there's a Raven on the field for Dream, and that makes the overall dropping of the Disruptor a lot more difficult to do. Here he goes again, getting 1 SCV.
Not the damage you're looking for.
Nope.
Oh no.
No.
Oh my god, that was the damage he was looking for.
5 more workers, just like that, gone in the blink of an eye. And we have a 5 worker lead right now for Dream being established. 3rd base as well for him on the way here before the one of Zaun. Zaun, I'm wondering what he's going to be doing here. He's not going for a 3rd base just quite. Okay, never mind. He is going for a 3rd base. It looks like.
Do it.
It's a little bit late, doesn't it? In a sense. Maybe I'm wrong with that, but overall, like this 3rd base timing for Dream seems like very, very standard, and it's still in front of Zaun's own 3rd base. I guess that's because of the Disruptor drop with the speed. War Prism delaying this quite a bit, and you know, now we're seeing why this is a difficult thing. Oh, he could have Interference Matrix, I suppose, the War Prism there.
Yeah,
it doesn't have stim yet, though.
Yeah.
How to jump on those guys if you don't have stim. That's true.
Zaun is like better. Dream is really good at defending this. His Marines are spread everywhere. He sees every entrance there can possibly be.
Oh my god. Gets that for free as well. A nice attempt, but a little bit late with the shots overall. Didn't realize that was coming in.
2 more of those Viking volleys, and the Disruptor and the War Prism say bye.
They go kabloomy. Alright, well, Zaun, I'd say, in a lot of trouble here. Only 43 army supply versus 70. He needs an absolute miracle shot on that Disruptor right now. And that's going to be very, very difficult to do because there's 4 siege tanks right on top of each other. So that Disruptor is going to die incredibly quickly if it does get targeted. And oh my dear lord, yep, that does get targeted by the Bio Infection. Oh my god, this is disgusting. Even Interference Matrixing the Colossi right now. Yeah, that's it. That's GG. There's no way for Zaun to come back here.
But he has a nuclear battery. Okay, he doesn't.
Overcharge though. Overcharge. Not gonna help him
But
out.
he's dropping on top of the tanks again.
Well, GG. There we are. A worthy effort there for Zaun. Going for the quick speed Disruptor drop. Unfortunately, not quite figuring out where he would be able to get that damage sorted, and Dream, just being the boss that he is, finds a way to make this happen. And Eternal Empire here for Zaun. You called it, didn't you? When you said, well, he's gonna pick Eternal Empire as the first map here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I said yeah, Everdream, but I'll take that. I'll take
Oh, I thought you said Eternal. Alright. Never mind. Never mind. Alright, they're both
No,
willing to...
I'll take that. I'll take that call.
Right, let me quickly do a play the game for you guys as well. As we are loading up. 1 second, guys.
Oh, on the other hand, we do see a bunch of Zerglings being produced here for Ragnarok. Looking to be an aggressive across the map. Now, Zaun, on the other hand, he hasn't built any much production buildings. He's added an extra gateway, but is that going to be enough again? Oh my God, he's even pulling the boys.
Oh, and drones go past the depths in the wall of. This is crazy, Ragnarok, getting so much damage already. Ropes going down left and right. The pylon will go down as well. GG got scored. Nothing down.
Okay, there we are. The score tied up right now, 1-1. And that's a quick SCV going across the map. And there's a second quick SCV going for the wall.
Oh, Proxy Reaper.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Oh,
When would you get the
Dream.
gas for like a 1-1-1 build? A proxy 1-1-1. Do you know?
Oh my God. Of all the spots where you would look for that proxy barracks, this is not one of them.
Yeah. Very
Oh,
nasty
Is
one.
he seeing it though? Because he went.
Nope. Just barely not seeing this one actually. Very, very nice, nice big spot there. Anyway, he's being proxy barracks. Just a single one. There are 2 refineries behind this as well, though. But anyway, he's the blue Protoss from Alphax. He is Zaun.
And the red Terran from Brave Star Gaming. He is Dream.
Nicely tying up the series so far. But this could get a little bit scary, right? The double gas, I mean, what are we expecting here, Evany? We're not seeing a second barracks. Is this going to be a factory as well? The SCV is staying here. Or is he going to build the factory at home? I would imagine, right? There's not a lot of space left here to really build a massive production facility chain. Wait, what in the... Oh, okay. I thought... For a second there, I thought, before I looked away, the bunker going down, blocking the Nexus, and then Zaun just being like, you know what, I can block my own Nexus as well. And putting down the pylon down next to it, but of course it's
I
out
don't
of
need
range.
your help. I'm a grown Protoss player and I can do this myself.
I can block my own Nexus, thank you very much.
How often did you try to off-race as Protoss and just blocked your own Nexus with your
Wow.
pylon?
I think that's a long thing from the past, but probably a couple of times, yeah. It has happened. A proxy gateway here for Zaun taking place, and that's always a nice thing, of course, here, as the entire production facility of Dream going to be on the other side of the map here. Will be a long time before Dream really has much of anything here on the other side. Immediately will go for a tac lab, so a Cyclone would be a very nice choice here to try and get rid of any type of early aggression from that proxy gateway as well. Did he see the proxy gateway? He didn't, so we're still a little bit in the dark, but there is a Cyclone on the way, and that could provide quite a bit of trouble for Zaun if he does try to get offensive from that area.
Okay, so he started a Stalker over there, and if that Cyclone finishes up in time, which I think it will, this is not looking good for Zaun. He did lose a Stalker at home. He still couldn't break that one bunker on the low ground. He will have a Stalker on the other side of the map that will most likely deal...
Oh, he
Oh,
finds
no.
it. Oh, Zaun. Not like this, Zaun. Guess he has the warp gates now, so he can warp into Stalkers or whatever he wants on that Cyclone. which did just lock onto the pylon. I don't think he will clean that up in time. So, well, small victory, right? Although he might still lose another Stalker here. And another Stalker.
Cyclones.
They are extremely good early game units. It kind of is the rule breaker for PvT in a sense, right? As we said before, Protoss does a lot better in that very early game with less units. The Cyclone is the opposite of that, really. He just let him have a 1v1 versus pretty much any units in the game, and they should be alright.
Oh, Zaun, this is not looking good for you. Blink is started, but if you don't have any Stalkers you can use your Blink with.
Yeah. Oh, does get the Cyclone there. That is nice, but losing another Stalker. Now with the Siege Tank here, this is a rough one. I guess he does have that Nexus now finishing up right at his third base. He did clean up the bunker, and they killed the barracks too. Okay, no, the barracks flew backwards.
It moonwalked out of there.
Yeah.
Okay, Siege Tank getting a little bit closer to the natural to force those Stalkers back a little bit more. With the Marines and the Cyclones, I think Dream should be able to push this back.
Can slowly start to send those Siege Tanks further and further forwards. Yeah, that one Siege Tank, and losing another Stalker. Man, he's just losing stocks left, right, and center right now. I mean, looking at the units lost tab, that's not pretty. It's about 150 gas versus 600 gas lost here for Zaun. And about, yeah, more than double now the amount of minerals lost for Zaun versus Dream. I guess he's mining more because he's not getting denied on his natural base, but... Oh, one Stalker short as well to kill that Cyclone. Making all those single losses on the Stalkers that much more painful. We'll get a single Siege Tank here, but... Another Siege Tank already there to take its place, and off he goes. Off he goes! Back to Protoss land.
I love the idea of those Stalkers just coming back home, and there's like Protoss mother waiting with Protoss hot chocolate. And the Stalkers are like, oh man, the harassment didn't really work out. We got a tank, but other than that, it was really what we were expecting. And the Protoss mother is like, you're good, Stalker. You have Blink. You'll be useful eventually.
Yeah. We'll get him as soon as we have the disruptors, honey. Don't worry about it.
Your Papa Zealot is going to show up soon, and then you'll tell him where the Siege Tank touched you.
Oh boy. Oh boy. It does feel that way sometimes though, but alright.
Let's see how Zaun is going to transition out of this, because he's getting a bunch of gateways and charge is almost done. Now his third Nexus is finishing up now as well, but Dream is landing his orbital command, which will bring him so much more income than a single Nexus does, because of the mule, because just great building overall.
Yeah. Yeah, this is true for sure. We can see this already represented in the income advantage, and that's, I feel like, before even we're seeing the mules really kick in here. This attack for Dream coming in on the right side as well. Nice bit of supply. Zaun moving in on the left side though at the same time. He will have a recall available, but he needs to save up a bit of energy. Let's see if Dream moves backwards first and foremost. Okay, no, will continue to push forwards here, so that is a little bit of a boon here for Zaun, I would say. Overall, timing-wise, being able to be the first to start attacking here.
Zaun is looking for that base trade. I don't know if I like it.
Probes here need to evacuate. There they go. Okay, well, Dream. I mean, still looking pretty strong with this force. Zaun, he may have enough to try and beat that force if he does get the recall going, but that is, if those siege tanks are not in a good sieged up position, which they're not quite yet, but Zaun will actually commit to this base right here. The SCV hold position, absolutely working miracles right now against those Zealots. The Zealots absolutely not quite sure what they're supposed to do here. Right, there we go. The last Marauder did fall. He's on top of the production chain, but, I mean, what is he supposed to do? Did he just recall the War Prism? Okay, yeah, he did. Going to evacuate the probes right now. He does have 1,000 minerals, so he may be able to just build another Nexus somewhere. Okay. This is becoming a weird one. Single command center here, still floating about in the middle of the map. He's really looking to get that one killed off exactly.
And that's when the blink really pays off on those stalkers.
Yep, finally showcasing why he got that blink upgrade. It was all in preparation for this right here, this one command center floating around.
And now what you do is you go for a Dark Shrine and win the game.
Yeah, something like that, right? That wouldn't be the worst call, honestly. It's but it's a bit difficult to get that right now. As he doesn't have any of his tech remaining here. The base did get scouted in a way because he saw the War Prism through the watchtower, and now he sees actually those probes as well here, of course. Oh, I'm loving this pickup micro though on the probes. That is very cute. That is very cute.
Okay, so
Zaun.
Dream might just try to come across and kill what Zaun has. So Zaun has to catch Dream's army unsieged and unprepared. The Stalkers might get a bunch of Marines.
I mean, the nice thing is that he is, you know, forcing Dream into him, and he has the charge, he has the force field as well if he needs it. Takes out the Liberator here. The Zealot's still doing quite a number on the siege tanks, and I think he may have done it. Oh my god, it's getting really close. Pulling the probes as well. The Medevac showing their prowess, but you know what? It's just a bit too much here for Zaun. GG is called, and Zaun takes a base rate, which, you know what? I felt like he had no business of winning, but finds a way anyway.
Yeah, Zaun finds a way.
For Ragnarok, we're going to be an aggressive.
I think this is the job of a pro gamer, anyways. Yeah. If the caster is like, hey, I don't think this is going to work out too good, then the pro gamer has to come around and just prove the caster differently. Yeah. And that's what Zaun did here.
Yeah, he did a good job there, honestly.
Pillars.
Fillers. Fillers of gold.
Now we're going for that episode where Naruto runs through the village and just does random stuff that nobody really wants to see, but it's fillers time.
He repeats lines that he mentioned in the past, but without any real context and adding anything to the overall character developments or anything like that. It's just, you know what, he's the goofy guy. Alright. Well, it's going to be Zaun and Dream this time around, being the fillers. So, I wonder what that would look like, honestly. A StarCraft 2 filler episode?
With MC showing his amazing Colossi micro.
Yeah.
And going, I have more big head, I win. Now, Zaun just mentioned he used to scout that location every game, every day. And then that one time he doesn't scout it, Dream is proxying.
Yeah. That's always when it will get you. That one time you don't do it. It's with everything in life, honestly. It's disturbing. Whenever you don't do something, suddenly it became so important that you did do it. Even though you do it every other day and it doesn't seem to matter too much.
But that's the thing about StarCraft as well. Like, you try to cut corners and sometimes they catch you with your pants down and you're like, I guess I am behind from now on.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel you with that one. Man, StarCraft 2 is such... it's a brilliant game, but oh my god, just that stuff that can happen. Anyway, I think that was a good example of it. In the bottom left side, there is a red Terran player looking to equal out the score here. Again, cannot afford to lose a single more map, because that would mean he has to go into the third place match with DRG here. And, well, 2 more wins and he may be able to go up against Zest. He's the red Terran. From Bravestar, he is Dream.
And the dragon himself. He is Alpha Axis Zaun.
Right.
No,
Yeah, just
Zaun.
1 more point for Zaun. 1 more little point. And then he will be able to go up against Zest as well. I think that could be a cool one, because Zest, overall, I'm pretty sure his PvP is known to be pretty good, right? I think Stats'
Yeah.
PvP is a bit better overall. He's probably most of the PvP sniper. But,
like-
yeah.
It's kind of a throwback to last season of GSL, where Zest did face off against Zaun in the group stage. Back then, Zest did manage to win 2-1, but Zaun is somebody who's continuously improving, so I
Yeah,
don't know. PvP, right?
yeah, true. It
Oh,
can
Zaun.
go each
Where's
way
the
that
probe
second,
going?
but of course we're not there yet. Dream very much capable of getting 2 victories here, I would say. As long as he makes the, cuts the right corners, does the right things, there we have it. There's that proxy bunker, or the safety bunker. It's the opposite of a proxy bunker.
I'm just curious what Zaun is doing with this probe. He went like all the way around the map
Yeah, I
to
think
finally meet the Reaper he was trying to dodge.
yeah. Rather safe than sorry. It's just a little bit of a mental thing as well, right? If you lose that first initial probe on the way back, it just feels like, oh, that should have been easily avoided. And then for the Terran as well, it's like, haha, nice. Already a slight advantage for me. Things are looking upwards. Things are looking good.
I always call that a psychological win. Because
Yeah.
your mind does play a big role in StarCraft. And if you get those wins in, like killing a bunch of Zerglings with your Reaper, killing the Creep Tumor with your Reaper, it's always like this little thing that could set your opponent over the edge and make him go, ah, not again.
Yeah. And I mean, not only that, but also like, oh dear, actually we're losing a couple of probes. Okay, 3 of them go down, but yeah, so for example, if you lose that first initial probe, you might just be like, alright, well that shouldn't have happened. I'm gonna chrono out another Stalker just in case, I don't want to lose another probe and start falling behind there, right? The small mistakes sometimes can lead into another small mistake, into another small mistake, where suddenly like it just snowballs out of control.
Another 4-gate blink. Zaun really likes this strategy.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I do believe that Zaun is one of those players that just likes to do a certain strategy over and over again. We've seen it the same in PVC in a sense, where he went for a lot of the Adept Glaives for a really long time. It's pretty much what he did, what he was known for. Did pretty good as well, and finding some overall merit to his ways in that sense. And in PvT, I suppose like the Blink Stocks just overall a little bit similar to the Adept Glaives build versus Zerg, I would say, right? It's just
Yeah.
the standard stuff. If you don't know what your opponent is doing, it's the safest bet to assume that this is going to be what your opponent is doing. If you're playing ladder and you're just assuming that this is going to happen, well, it depends on your rank, I suppose. But overall, a lot of the time you're going to be right.
Ladder is a different beast as well. Like,
Sure, yeah,
you can,
it is.
you can play super safe, and there is that one guy who goes proxy Dark Shrine off of one Nexus, and then goes for Blink Stalkers instead.
Yeah,
And you're like, what?
that's not how you play this. True, true. You should get a Raven with this as well, right? For just against the Blink Stalkers, usually. To shut down any observers and such, to make it more difficult for the Blink to... Oh my god, that was disgusting.
That was beautiful.
Oof.
That was the most beautiful thing I've seen all day.
No. Oh, he has to use the Warp Prism as an observer. That's not a good thing. That's not a good thing at all.
Like, the two things you really want to have when you're trying to defend the 4-gate Blink is tanks and a Raven. Because the Raven will make it so much easier to deny that high ground vision, and the tank will just keep you safe against Stalkers walking up to the edge.
Yeah, any commitments really trying to do the damage that the siege tank will be there, ready to punish it. His siege tank's actually a little bit far forward. I guess he's just kind of feeling comfortable with the amount of bio that he has with them. Right now, also already killing off that observer, of course, becomes a lot more difficult, as you said, for Zhao now to really do anything there.
Let's see, Down is looking into a Colossi transition, getting 4 gateways as well. Is he already... No, there's the forges. I was wondering if he already had one and was going into upgrades, or if he would just go for big army with a bunch of zealots and a bunch of Colossi and try to break Dream that way. It looks like he wants to transition into the later stages of the game. Now the Warp Prism gets into the main base.
Nice Widowmine there, really putting that Warp Prism low. You gotta be extremely careful now with that bad boy. The drop at the same time, though, cleaning up the defensive forces here. Okay, Sound quickly does his shield battery overcharge, and my god, look at that. Just retargeting continuously, but both of them retargeting. That's a silly fight, isn't it?
It's like, quick Batman, get the shield battery overcharge, and Batman pulls out a spray that's called shield battery overcharge, sprays it on the Marines, and they do nothing from then on.
Yeah. I mean, it was a nice little bit of micro in between there as well. Continuously Dream spreading out where he was dealing the damage right there. The siege tank's doing a good job against these Colossi so far. Really nice targeting there, but you know what, the gateway forces do manage because of that to move forwards. Nice pickup micro there from Sound, keeping those Colossi alive. And is he going to just barely be able to kind of keep this going? Two Colossi go down in the blink of an eye there, though. And mostly Stalkers now remaining. Still a good amount of medavacs here to really support these Marauder forces. Not that much available for Zhao to really kill things off right now. He's trying, he's doing his best, but another of the Colossi fall. And what does Zhao have left right now to try and hold this off with? More Stalkers. I don't think that's going to do it here. Oh, shield battery overcharge gets picked off right there. Yeah, I think we may have an end here with just barely enough units for Dream. After some nice, decisive targeting on those Colossi, being able to make them extremely low on the HP, and then just having barely enough Marauders here to let this snowball. Although the medeffects are out of energy now, though, so the Marauders should be slowly be able to be whittled away by the Colossus. But overall, he's losing a lot of probes now as well, though. It's becoming difficult. Oh, that warp prison as well, getting lower and lower right now. Still managing to do a little bit here. The Viking does get it. Will get the Colossi as well. Man, okay, yeah, this is just too much, isn't it? More reinforcements just slowly coming across. And Zaun has to kind of digest this loss layer, I would say. 12 workers. I mean, we're 70 workers versus 40. GG.
GG is called. They are really going the distance with this one.
Yeah, 2-2 right now. It's the opposite of what we had with Zest versus DRG.
Oh, Everdream.
Is it
I
Everdream?
know we just
Oh,
saw
it
the
is.
4-gate blink, but I feel like Everdream is another map for that build order.
The ace match. Oh, is it as hot where you are as it is for for me right now?
Yeah, it's heating up
Oh my dear lord.
crazy.
It's just the
You're living-
uncomfortable amount of heat, you know, and it's... Oh, yeah. Actually, let me make myself a spectator.
I think we had like 35 degrees yesterday, and
Yeah.
I was just walking to a bookstore, and man, 35 degrees are hotter than you think.
They really are. I mean, in the Netherlands in particular, I don't know what it is. I think we just have a humidity that is just... It kicks you down, you know? It really does.
I remember that from Korea.
Yeah.
Because in Korea the summers are super hot and the humidity is crazy high. You have like 90% humidity, 80% humidity all the time. So
Yeah.
you go home, take a shower, get out of your place, and you're immediately wet.
Yeah, immediately sweating again.
The
Just
problem,
sitting somewhere.
the problem with Germany that I have is it's a dry heat. So you go out the door and you're like, hey, this is fine. 10 minutes later, you wish you hadn't thought that.
You're suddenly you've turned into a lobster,
Yes.
and the world feels like it wants to kill you. Anyway, yeah, I know that one as well. But usually in the shade, then you're pretty good. You know, you're doing fine. You're doing all right. But yeah, with high humidity as well, even in the shade, you're just sitting there and you're like,
Why
sweat
am I
pouring out.
sweating?
Yeah. Alright, anyway, in the bottom left side we have ourselves a red Terran player fighting for Bravestar Gaming. He is making a comeback. Can he do it all the way? He is Dream.
And in this ping pong match of a series, he is representing Alpha X. He's the blue Protoss player. He is Zaun.
Alright. Alright. Well, I mean, I did at the start anticipate Dream to take this one, but now I'm not so sure anymore. Zaun definitely doing some lovely stuff here. Even in positions where it felt like he was very far behind overall in the game, right? A game on Eternal Empire, an absolutely killer game there, going into a base trade. Very nice decisive decision making from Zaun. Recalling back his War Prism and then taking out a bunch of probes from the base to facilitate a new area where he could try to defend from. And you know what, just overall lovely stuff there for Zaun. And yeah, just needs to get one more victory here. Any Alpha X's in the chat probably hoping that this will be another victory for Zaun here, and he will be able to get up to fight against Zest right now as well. Probably other people looking forward to seeing TVP perhaps, but we'll have to wait and see. Honestly, PvP, I've seen like one of the weirdest PvPs yesterday with, what was it, Max Pax versus Estrella. That was very odd. That was, you know, it's just complete Max Paxery.
Yeah, like to be honest, any matchup with max packs involved
Yeah.
has the potential to be a really weird one. Now, this game around, Dream did learn from his earlier mistakes. He did get the early bunker, and he's once again going for those Hellions. And the starport is proxied, so
All right. We've seen Zaun struggle a little bit already with the Hellions overall, trying to defend against those. I don't think he knows about it either, right? As he saw the factory with the reactor, that could be for Widow Mines as well, I suppose. More likely it is usually the Hellions though, isn't it?
yeah. This game around, he's going for Stargate and producing Phoenix, so he might be able to catch the Medivac before it comes in, but you need a certain number of Phoenix, and I'm not sure if he's going to have them. Now, the shield battery in the main might be able to help securing those probes, but four Hellions will do so much damage that they might just out-damage the shield battery. Let's see, the first volley gets in, second volley. Oh my god, 5 probes already dead, 7. And it's not the end either.
Oh, more Hellions coming in from the other side as
no.
well. It's becoming quite a disturbing sight here for the Zaun fans. 10 of his probes just go down just like that.
Oh, no.
Maybe more here. Oh, 12. Okay. Only 2 more. For a moment I thought that was going to be worse with all the probes being stacked up. But yeah, Zaun, I mean, that was nasty. That was a nasty hit to take. And he's going to have to find some other way how to retaliate here across the map as quickly as possible. He's sending out those adepts right now. There's only a couple of the Marines available. Cyclone now also coming in. Maybe Zaun will be able to find some way to still get some little bit of an upper hand here. Moving past the mineral line here. It's kind of on the lookout for a siege tank, possibly here, I would say. But yeah, I'm just not getting any SCV right now.
That has to be super frustrating. Like, first losing 12 probes to a bunch of Hellions, and then you're trying to get some counter damage in, but your opponent already pulled all of his workers, so you're not really in any position to get damage done.
Yeah.
Those Phoenix, as of right now, rather useless. They killed the Medivac, so they took some mobility off those Hellions. But other than that, well, I guess they are getting some worker kills now.
Yeah, Dreamer, you know what, he does have some of the tools right to deal with this, but the mobility of the Phoenix is kind of being displayed here by Zaun. We'll find four SCVs, but of course you need to have more to really equal this out again on the economic department. He is adding a third base as well, but already having that third base of Dream established, right, with the orbital as well, that's just a little bit worrying here for Zaun. Heading in the forge right now, the Twilight Council too. Starting to prep for the mid-game, but what kind of mid-game will you have? He needs to have like a really, really good fight with some wonderful engagements where he finds a ton of damage here. What are these adepts doing? They will get on top of the anti-air squad here. Cleaning up a couple of the Marines, but that's about it. Immediately comes in as well with more reinforcements, Dream does. And yeah, even with the Phoenixes there, not really finding the best of trades, I would say.
I don't think Zaun expected so many Marines to just sit in the main mineral line. Because, like, he saw what, like, 4 Marines and 1 Cyclone, and went, yeah, I can fight this with my 4 Adepts and my 5 Phoenix. And then suddenly there are 12 Marines, and he's like, oh no, now I lost those Adepts as well. What's going to keep Dream home now? And Dream is accordingly just pushing across the map now.
Yeah. And this would have been a better time for Zaun to perhaps try and get some harassment going. He's trying again with the Phoenixes, but getting shut down rather nicely here. Zaun. Alright, another warping gets him a little bit closer to the overall army supply of Dream here, but Dream, his positioning will be looking pretty darn nice. Setting up shop on the... actually moving away with that siege tank here. Just gonna try to come in with the Medivacs. And the Medivacs, I don't know if they have boost, right? They do have boost, okay, but the Phoenixes, I mean, they still should be able to shut this down, right?
Yeah. Already picking off one of the Medivacs. Now there are only Marines and they can be lifted up and killed off pretty easily. Now Dream is trying to strike at another location. He's just trying to pull Zaun apart with continuous aggression. But Zaun didn't lose any of those Colossi, and keeping that Colossi count up and keeping those core damage units and tech units alive is really important. And as long as Zaun manages to do this, I think he's rather fine.
Yeah, for sure. And this could be one of the ways that Dream kind of throws this advantage away, right? Just trying to continuously attack and then just not quite being able to deal damage anywhere. I mean, sure, he killed 3 probes, but he lost so much of his army that if Zaun just kind of keeps trading like that, he may be able to just kind of set up a proper type of fight later on here, because he just didn't lose army units.
Yeah. Now what is the transition goal for Dream? I really think he should start adding ghosts as well, especially with the 4th base on the way, just to get that extra damage in. He's not getting any Vikings anymore, so he needs something to make those, to soften up the army, to take out the Colossi, otherwise they will just deal immense amounts of damage. Hitting before +2/+2, big fight here in the middle of the map. Zealots charging in but being killed off immediately.
Yeah.
And
the Colossi really kind of missing the mark there, shooting a couple of leftover Marines on the left side. I don't think it would have mattered too much, but at least he would have gotten a bit more damage out on the overall bulk there of Dream. But Dream will be able to take it and moves on through here. Winning 2 games in a row, and you know what? Securing his spots in the finals right now. Zaun, that's always disappointing, getting himself in a 2-1 lead here and then losing 2 games in a row. That's always disappointing, but hey, what you gonna do? What you gonna do? It happens.
If you're Zaun, you're looking back at this and you're like, actually, the series went kind of okay, right? Like, there were not that many matches where you went, Zaun, you're really outclassed here. Like, the Hellions in the match right now did do a lot of damage.
Yeah.
Fair enough. But this was still something you can look at and say, okay, I guess if I have my units in the right spot at the right time, I can prevent this damage. And he'll just go back to it, figure this stuff out, and come back stronger.
True. Okay, so let's think this through, right? What's a good map to pick here for Dream versus Zest?
That's a good question.
Always, you know what? Sometimes when in doubt, I like to pick Pillars of Gold. Could go Eternal Empire as well again, right? A little bit of an in-between.
Eternal
Easy
Empire
choice.
sounds like a safe
It is
call.
the safe one, right? It is the safe one. It's always the question, right? We wanna see good games, but we also don't want to get these players disappointed with our decision making. I want to make a good overall impression on both of them, without either thinking I'm being biased. Dream seems happy. Go. All right, let's go. Let's do it. This will be a best of 7, guys, right now. Zest versus Dream. Also, if you haven't already, please hit us up on the Matcherino. There is a coupon code that you can use for adding free money to the prize pool. Also, it helps us a ton overall, not just us, but StarCraft 2 in general. If you do a couple of the quests in the right side of the thing, this gives more incentive for overall sponsorships to invest more time and money into StarCraft 2. Because they can see that, you know what, the StarCraft 2 community is pretty cool. They like to help out their place, they like to help out their events, and we get something in return, you know? That's what all those companies want, after all, when they do sponsor. It's not just out of the goodness of their hearts, they do enjoy having a little bit of publicity in return for it. And, you know, we can give that to them by doing a little bit of a couple of quests here and there in the Matcherino page. Right. Well, let's see. The finals right now. A blue Terran in the top right side. Looked like he got himself in a little bit of trouble here for a while, but still managed to secure his spot. He is none other than Bravestar Gaming's Dream. Oh, there we are.
And the red Protoss player, he is representing Raise Your Edge Gaming. Give it up for Zest.
Okay. Alrighty.
Alrighty then. Let's see how Zest approaches this matchup, because his PvT has always been really gateway heavy. You would always see him go for those big zealot clusters and just try to roll over the Terran. I'm curious if he still commits to this, and if he is going for Proxy Dark Shrine right now.
It's interesting that you're mentioning this, because the overall idea I have for Zest's PvT is that he loves to go Blink Stalkers. He loves to, kind of similar as in his PvZ back in the, well, maybe not as much anymore. I did say that he's growing out of this a little bit, but he loves to just have this one build, a little bit Zaun-esque, right? I think Zaun takes a lot of inspiration from Zest overall. And what I know Zest for is really going for, well, Adept Glaives in PvC and Blink Stalkers in PvT. But that Proxy Pylon
is Zest just playing PvP right now? Just proxying a pylon to make your opponent guess what's happening?
Oh, that could be the case. Or he is still planning to put a Dark Shrine there later on. That could still be a thing as well. We're seeing the same Hellion opening here, though, from Dream. That did serve him very well in the final game there, but against Zaun. So let's see how well Zest is going to be able to defend against this. Koba's got to go. All right, see you later, Koba. Have a good sleep. Thanks for joining in, my man. Talk to you later. Oh boy.
You were right with that one.
You know what? This is a good way to deal with it, no? Just kind of walk your Stalker across the map and then force the Hellions to fight your Stalker instead of fighting your worker line. I like this SCV as well. Small move there from Dream. Not going to allow the Stalker to see the SCV on his way home.
Man, Dream is still, like, I think he's still scouting for that one proxy pylon. He's still, like, confused of what is happening, and Zest is just taking advantage of it.
Yeah.
He is on 2 gates. He's getting a robo. Love the positioning of the robo, by the way.
Yeah, that's the weird one, isn't it? Allows for quicker reinforcements, I suppose, if you do have an attack on your third or your natural. Which could be nice.
Oh my god, more Hellion coming in. Nice body block by those Stalkers. They are preventing further damage. 6 probes is okay, but I don't think this is the damage you're looking for if you commit to so many Hellions.
Yeah, he went up to 6 Hellions, right? He did lose all of those Hellions as well. I mean, I think they're more valuable to keep around in the overall TVZ, because you can really do a number on the circlings with any kind of follow-up tank push. But in TVP as well, I would say, right? Just keeping them around, being able to perhaps go into the third base as you're trying to push the second base with a push or something like that. Always can still do quite a bit, but yeah, none of that going to be the case here. That starport, it is desperately trying to get across here, but that will go down. Another new starports will have to be made. That's kind of important, right? Now, only a single medevac, nothing else quite yet available, and it's going to be a long time before he really gets more medevacs out. And you need to have the medevacs, especially considering that he's playing against Robos. So, if Zest does take this into the Colossi composition, then that's going to be a problem for Dream, because already his overall medevac production is so far behind. He's going to really have to make the choice. Do I go for the medevacs? Do I go for the Vikings to counter the Colossi? There's never really the best answer, right? Anymore.
Well,
just going to get both.
That seems to transition into a gateway army. He's not getting any gases, adding additional gateways. Charge is halfway done. And +1 attack is on the way as well. This is a lot of gateways, man.
That is.
Not gonna lie.
Yeah, and with that charge and +1 finishing up, you have to wonder, is he just gonna start pushing across the map here? There's not that much available for Dream right now, and well, again, it's only just in a couple of seconds going to start the medevac production again. So even if he does want to evacuate some location, that's going to be a tough thing to do. We'll have to wait and see. The Warp Prism here going into the main base, it looks like. It's going to be a big warp in, actually, if he does get into the main base. Doesn't imagine the amount of zealots that are going to be wailing away at the SCV line here momentarily.
No vision of that warp prism as it comes in. A bunch of zealots being warped in, and that mineral line has to be sacrificed first. Like for the time being. Now there is some pressure at the third base, but the tank should be able to drive this away. Not that much mining going on anymore. Yeah,
Dream in a boatload of trouble. And losing even more so. Remind of the SCVs. There is an Immortal available here to try and push away the Siege Tank, and the Siege Tank will go down. But there's still a good amount of bio as well here to facilitate a defense. The Warp Prism goes down as well. But I think the damage has been dealt. Zest not quite being able to finish off his opponents, but that was a lot of damage. And well, Dream is army still though. I mean, 56 army supply versus 13. That is pretty good. That is solid. Especially because there's no AoE damage for Zest here. Maybe Zest will still take a bit of a punch on the nose here with this counterattack. He's going for the Dark Shrine though. That is such a brilliant move. With all the SCV damage, it's very likely Dream will just be spamming out those mules. Really stay focused on that one. And that means there's going to be a nice delay here in the overall attack if he does run a commit. And there's DTs, right? You can't really do much. You have to pull backwards, and that gives Zest even more time to get something sorted here. Right, there's the scan right now, but
Zest missing the opportunity to force feed everything. Now the bio gets into the mineral line and is dealing a lot of damage. 8 probes have already fallen. There is no buffer for those stalkers anymore because all the zealots have been cleaned up. Nexus falls as well, and +2 is delayed. I'd say this is a good counterattack for Dream. He has caught up in workers. He's putting down bunkers now, which is insanely smart, because if you get a kill on the Nexus, you do some worker damage. Well, what's your opponent gonna do? Probably counterattack, because he thinks he's behind. Get up those bunkers, stay safe, and from there on transition into the next stages of the game. And that's what Dream is doing right now.
Yeah. Dream hasn't scouted this third or fourth base quite yet, though. He must be assuming that there is a third base, right? There's no way in hell that there's not. But,
Yeah, he scans it now. He knows.
Oh, he scanned
knows.
it? Oh, yeah, okay, now
Yeah.
he knows. Yep. Yep. Alright, so, Blink for the DT's also on the way. And, yeah, as you said, Dream somehow catching up here, doing a good job with that overall, making a new command center, and just like that, you know, things looked absolutely desperate for Dream. He just moves across the field after killing off the entirety of the army of Zest here, and ties it up again a little bit. That's too many Dark Templar to fit into one War Prism here, Zest. I'm sorry.
Maybe if one of them goes into the trunk or something.
just to put him on top. We'll cable him
He's
down.
just holding on.
Yep. We'll try to make it work.
Come on, guys. I want to be part of this as well. Nah, man. There's no space for you in here. You gotta walk.
Yeah. Imagine if there was an upgrade for the War Prison, and you know those big trunks you can put on top of your car.
Yeah.
You would just have one of those things just on top of the meta or the on top of the War Prison. It's like one ugly, big box, just allowing more units to be coming. That'd
You
be
know,
nice.
you get something that is probably broken, but it looks super ugly, so it's fine.
Yeah. Balance due to the overall ugliness. This is a lot of Dark Templars actually on the backside. Oh my dear lord, I thought that might be a problem, but oh, you know what? The Widowmine's still getting a reasonable connection. I mean, he did lose this fight quite badly, but overall, I don't think this is the end just quite yet. Looking at the supplies still, and more units actually going down as well. Probes on the 4th base being picked off. Yeah, honestly, I think that was again a good trade here for Dream.
Don't underestimate the Dark Templars, though. Some of them survived, and I can see Zest going for some counter-harassment soon. As soon as he clears the drop at the 4th base, that one just did way too much damage.
Yeah.
And 21 probes killed?
Yep. Mostly on that 4th base as well.
4
really.
additional Dark Templars warping in. Zest is going for the memes right now.
This is what he does, man. He's just the DT man. It's what they-
DT man does whatever DT man does.
That's what they call him.
Sneaks around, snipes your base. Watch out, it's DT man.
Right, sees the scan here on the left side. That's of course the DT signal indicating that they need to enter the crowd here. Oh, nice EMP though, right there. Really providing quite a bit of vision there for the siege tank to shoot at those DTs. They do manage to get into the base though with the blink, of course. There we go. Get rid of that siege tank, and suddenly, you know what? As you mentioned, those Dark Templar are getting a whole boatload of damage done.
Dark Templars are a great unit.
There's
They
still a
deserve
full,
the blink.
still a full.
Oh my
full
god!
Scan.
Oh my god! Another scan? That's gotta hurt. Another one!
More
How
stuff.
many scans did he use by now?
I don't
4,
know.
5? Just
If-
for that pack of DTs?
If only it showed up on the units lost tab as mules, that would be nice.
I know
Um,
for the StarCraft Lee, or however the name of that tool is, you can see when somebody scanned. So technically, if you got the replay into that tool, you could see when Dream scanned how many times and figure out the damage those DTs actually did.
Nice interception there. Divide and conquer. Zest finding a big portion of Dream's army there. Just spread out and jumps on top of the opportunity to take it down. Will still be in a bit of trouble though, of course, as that was only half the army of Dream. And Dream's army, I mean, look at it. It's twice the size of Zest. He managed to do quite a bit with the Dark Templar, but the Dark Templar not that fantastic in a straight up fight, especially if there's EMP available. And Dream, he made damn sure that he has a lot of the EMPs right now.
Watch for those Dark Templars dodging EMPs with Blink.
Yeah, yeah, he's done it a couple of times now.
Dream is so worried about the Dark Templars. He's just scanning preventively.
Like, well, there they are. I mean, it's so much damage as soon as they get on top of you, right? You instantly lose Marines with every single slice. It's just very rough. Dream kind of starting to run into a brick wall with the drop is coming in with more reinforcements though. And I think this may be able to get into a position good enough that this becomes very, very hard to manage right now for Zest. He's going to lose some of his production right there. The Robo goes down. Zest does have a good surround.
Templars.
Here we go. Nice little choke point there being used by Dream. He realized that there's no AoE really from Zest, so he can do this right here. If he was fighting against Disruptus or you know what, or Colossi, that would be an entirely different story. It's funny that we don't have any of that, right? From Zest, he's just like, I could get Disruptus, Colossi, I could get Storm, but you know what? I'm just gonna get a boatload of Dark Templar. That's all I need.
You know they are invisible.
32 Dark Templars have died in this game. He has 7 more. He's almost made 40 Dark Templar right here.
Oh, now he's getting on top of the army. There is no... Oh, there is a scan. I was already like, yes, he found the perfect opportunity. But he's still trading pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, look, and continuously, I'm just looking at this army supply, and I'm surprised that Zest is holding on as well as he is. But this may be a bit. This may be it. Don't worry, there's DTs. Come on!
Save me!
Still this scanning going on. GG is called.
GG. What a fun match.
That was a fun one. That was a weird one, but that was definitely a fun one. You know what? It makes me excited to see more DT shenanigans here from Zest.
Next map,
forward to it.
Proxy Dark Shrine. I'm calling it now.
You think? Well, I mean, maybe.
Everdream.
Everdream.
That's his Proxy Dark Shrine map.
It is, isn't it? We know it all clearly. I mean, it's a dark map already, so.
Well, he's hoping for some nightmares for Dream right here.
Yeah. Right. I'm just desperately looking at my phone, looking at the weather, and I'm like, all right, yeah, it's just gonna get hotter, isn't it? Jeez Louise.
I'm actually feeling it. I have all the curtains down. I have everything closed, and I had everything open for the night.
Yeah.
So it was okay, but now it's getting hotter and hotter and hotter, and I'm like, oh no.
Yep. It's unfortunate. It's definitely unfortunate.
But it's only 30 degrees over here.
Sorry?
It's only 30 degrees over here.
Yeah, it's fine. Alright. Let me try to do something here with my own window. 1 second, please.
Okay, everybody. Everdream. Man, PvT has to be the best matchup on this map. You have so many blink places. You have so many avenues you can send your Dark Templars in. And as soon as the Terran tries to take a 4th base, that 4th base is super open to your Zealots. I don't know. Pretty good map.
Pretty good map for Protoss, yeah. Yeah, I think so too. But then again, I mean, the Blink Stalkers probably won't be a thing, as we will have the Blink DTs instead. Most likely. But introducing this man in the top right once again, the Red Terran. He's been showing some pretty darn good games, and well, I mean, he's from Bravestar Gaming. He is a dream. Honestly, I was after seeing those games against Zaun, I you know what? I still put Zest a little bit above Zaun overall in skill rating, but I mean, Zest is just doing such weird stuff that it's such a hard comparison to make now. You know?
Well, talking of him, he's representing Raise Your Edge Gaming. Give it up for the blue Protoss player, Zest. You know, Zest kind of has the same image to me lately as SOS does, where SOS will just go for super weird strategies, and is that evil mastermind. Zest gives me the same vibes as well. And there's the proxy pylon. Come on, the prop is staying there. Come on, Zest. Show me. No! No! You were supposed to play proxy Darkshrine, not proxy Stargate.
Maybe it was a misclick. He might cancel it. He might cancel.
Imagine that.
Yeah.
It's almost finished. He looks at his hotkeys and he's like, "What's that Stargate doing there?" Presses cancel. Stalker walking across the map once again. You know, we had that meta where back when Classic was around, where the Protoss would just send their first units across the map no matter what to pressure the Terran. And every Terran basically had to go for a blind bunker.
Yeah.
Otherwise you would just lose 2-3 SCVs and be behind from that point on. Now, I think we're getting to that point once again because, especially against Dream, because he really likes those Hellion drops, and Hellion drops are rather weak if you have to defend against Stalkers early on.
Yeah.
Oh no, he has no defense against the Oracle. Oh no.
He can do it. He just needs to believe in himself.
Believe it away.
Do it. Do it, Dream. Oh boy. Nice spreading out overall with the SCVs, but yeah, this is starting to stack up here a little bit. Missed Micro shooting the bunker there for a second, but overall, oh my, oh my. All right, well let's wait and see what these Hellions get done though. I mean, it's not a clear case just yet. Oh, I love the full wall of here from Zest. He realized what he's up against.
No.
Already has 3 Stalkers available here. Come on, he just needs to not die right now. 5 probes. Okay, I think he might lose a couple more. One more, just one more. Okay.
This is pretty fine.
Yeah, I'd say that's,
I'll take this.
you know what, overall, Protoss, they have the Chrono, of course, so I think it's less detrimental. If they lose the same amount of workers as the Terran, they relatively should be a little bit more okay with this. And there is an 8 worker difference right now. That is still comfortable for Zest here.
Okay. Is he expecting the second drop though?
Nope. No, he really isn't, is he? Oh my dear lord, stop it. Stop it! Don't kill more there you go.
It's so funny. Yeah. You imagine those pro gamers would expect the Medivac to come back, especially if there are still 2 Hellions inside. And then you watch Zest and he's like, two Hellions?
Well,
No problem.
He got all the Hellions from the main base, right? Or at least the ones that were dropped in. Those were the Hellions that never committed because the full wall of. I'm not sure if Zest knew about them.
I think he knew because Dream tried to elevate them into the natural.
Ah, okay.
Oh my god, this looks like a disgusting place to be in.
He does have Blink, but with the bunker and the Widowmine there, that's a rough one. If you blink on top of that, that's going to be one nasty surprise, especially with the siege tank shooting as well.
But I think you can just blink into the natural. You can,
Yeah, maybe.
yeah.
Get that
Yeah.
bomb kick here. It's nice. Was he repairing the... Was he actually repairing the unbuildable bricks? Is that a thing you can do?
No, like they lost some HP. Maybe it was just a moving them.
Alright. Alright, but I'm watching you, Dream. I'm watching you.
I don't trust you anymore.
He's the one that's been putting down all these unbuildable bricks everywhere.
There's just that one, like, back in the days, those bricks used to be supply depots, right?
Yeah, load supply depots. Yeah.
I always wondered which Terran would just go across every map and build one supply depot.
Just to make sure they don't wall themselves in, you know?
That's that one Terran that always gets supply blocked at 46 supply, and then he went like, I don't want to get supply blocked anymore. I'll just get that one single supply depot on every map. It will give me the time to get the other supply depots out.
No time to move my camera back all the way to my mineral line. I might as well use my scouting SCV here. Is this a lot of scouting pylons talking about scouting here? Three of them.
He is committing pretty far forward with those stalkers, so any drop that could hit his third, fourth, or main could potentially be deadly. Now he did not put any spotting pylons on the on the bottom side of the map, which is kind of weird to me.
Might be the place where he's planning to push from overall.
Possibly.
It's hard to say. He's waiting for Storm anyway, right? Before he's gonna do anything. We have the Ghost Academy on the way now for Dream as well, ready, so he should
He's going
be okay.
for all the Templar.
All the Templar, that's right. Dark ones as well entering the field right now. If there's Dark Templar, does that mean we also have Light Templar? Somewhere.
Somewhere there's just a Templar that shines.
Just a
They
very
are not
bright.
invisible, they just shine really bright.
Yeah. The opposite of a... Yeah. He's very, very visible, like... He's, that would be interesting. Maybe it's just like a High Templar that always takes the first shots. Right? The AI will always focus the Bright Templar. Or the Light Templar. The Bright Templar.
every time he comes on the field, you get a notification as an opponent. The
Right.
Light Templar just appeared.
He was warped in over here. He's got a ping as well.
And you're like, why do I even build this unit? That unit has to have the most broken spell overall. Oh, nice movement by Zest here.
Yeah, Dream as well though, finding himself some damage right now, but Zest really already in between the bases right now. I would love to see him go forwards into the overall production facility area over here. There is a big drop from Dream though, he's really hitting home as well. Taking a lot of probe losses here is Zest. He does have the Dark Templar though, of course. That should really help out against these weird, funky battles. As Zest, you know, he is starting to get closer and closer to that main base. There is a single Widow Mine. Massive EMPs though. Oh my god, nice blink out of that one. Oh no, we're 2 Widow Mines actually. Right, anyway, this is a tough one to call. I think Dream may be having this one overall. Looking at the supplies going down for Zest here. He's still not quite in this main base, and of course, even if he does kill this, he still needs to deal with 2 command centers that are floating out on the map, and 2 more, in fact, now leaving the vicinity here. Whereas Dream, he is just in a position where he's cleaning up everything, right? There's no probes down on the map. There's no possibility for Zest, I feel like, to get probes out on the map. Unless if I'm crazy and I'm just missing them. Where are
No,
they?
this looks really good for Dream right now.
He still has
like-
3 Dark Templar though. But the EMP is there as well.
And he didn't manage to get the orbital command. He can't block it from going down neither. There's a turret build as well. So this
Oh,
is
yeah. Wow.
yeah, this is really Dream's game to lose. Like he will have to just eat storms for days.
Okay, there were in
Do we
fact
actually
some,
still have storms?
Yeah, he did have some probes. He actually still has 24 there. He has a lot of them here hidden in his old previous main base. If this Nexus goes up, he will be able to just recall and then potentially start mining off of the rich Vespian gas, which is a nice little thing here, right? Overall, Dream only has 9 workers, but he has the 2 orbitals to give him the mules.
Zest is ahead in army supply right now with
Yeah.
a good engagement, but that choke point is just so deadly.
It's a weird one for sure. I'm wondering which one of these players will be the person that kind of feels like they have to push into the other one.
This is so funny. The Dream is just going, okay, you killed my main base, except you didn't kill my engineering bay.
Oh.
But Zest is just attacking the...
The probes coming in from behind. I don't know. I think this was a little bit of I guess there's. No, wait. There's scan available. GG. There it is. Zest attacking in that location right there. I mean, was it the right call? I think it may have been, right? It would have been a rough one to come back against 2 orbitals, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know. What do you think? You think he should have pushed in there?
I don't know. Like, did he lose the War Prism earlier? Because he had a War Prism with 2 High Templar in it. He might have just lost it to the ghosts. I don't think that was a winnable position for him.
Yeah. Yeah. I think you may be right. I was just really hoping we were gonna see like the Nexus recalling all the probes from the main base there. Alright. They both wanna go. I really wanna go. Let me quickly make this as well. Guys, remember the Meteorino is a thing. Help us out with that if you can. And as we're starting this game, have a look at the Strive play of the day. We'll start the game afterwards.
Only a couple ghosts, though. 3 ghosts in the army of Kiwion right now. It's not enough. It's not enough. Caustic Spray is doing so much damage for Ragnarok, and here we go. Ragnarok ready to engage. Gonna catch actually a really nice place here for Kiwion, but oh man, the Neuroparasites from the backside. Ragnarok Neuroparasites every Thor, and with 4 Thors still Neuroparasited, Ragnarok is gonna close things out. 2-0. Gee, what a game.
Alright. Welcome back, guys. We are in the loading screen. Game number... What game number was this? Game number 3? Right?
I think so. Right?
Dream's actually 2-0 right now. He's doing really good.
He's feeling it.
Yeah. No kidding. Actually, let me get the scores. There we go. Et voila! In the bottom left side, there is a blue Protoss. I think this is an important one to win, honestly. If he doesn't get this one, that would mean that he's gonna, you know what, have to win 4 games in a row versus somebody that only has to win 1 game, right? So, I always think these matches are some of the most important ones to get going into your favor, because the full reverse sweep, that's gonna be tough. That's gonna be extremely tough. But anyway, let's see if he can get this series a little bit closer than we have it going right now. He is the Blue Protoss from Razor Edge Gaming. He is Zest.
And the red Terran player currently up 2-0. He's representing Bravestar Gaming. Give it up for Dream.
All right.
Everything looking pretty standard here by Zest.
Yep, no proxies just quite yet. No hidden pylons so far. It's just a matter
He's
of
not
time.
even scouting really, which is kind of I don't know. I think it's super risky to not scout on Golden Wall because the Terran player Terran players have been going for a lot of Hellion drops, proxy racks, proxy factories, like all of that stuff on this map. Every time I see a Terran player play this map, it starts off with some weird shenanigans.
Yeah?
Given I usually see TY playing this map.
Oh yeah,
and
for
he's
sure.
the cheesy Terran guy. But still.
I mean, this is where we saw him do the Marauder proxy as well, right? With the Tech Lab, that was him, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. And just against that in the GSL, he went for proxy two racks, built one barracks at home, and then just rolled across the map with SCVs and Marines. You gotta know something like that is coming, right?
Yeah, true. Yeah, for sure. But Zest still just, you know what, only now getting the scout going with the Adept. It's kind of funny. Somebody saying proxy Void Race. We're seeing a Twilight Council and a robotics facility and a Dark Shrine. There you go. So all the attack that you don't need for the proxy Void Ray.
Wait for the next patch to get through, where the Void Ray just gets random more movement speed and is cheaper. You'll see that build all over the map, all over the ladder as well.
Yeah. Yeah, I hope they won't do it. I really do. But anyway, we'll have to wait and see. We saw the Void Rays actually beating Estrella in a PvP yesterday as well with max packs. They look pretty good, honestly, not gonna lie. Didn't look like they needed any help.
Yeah,
if the Dark
but
Shrine
PvP
gets scouted,
is the different monster, right?
It did.
With the extra damage against armored. Oh my god, that Widowmine is
you're
so smartly
joking.
placed. Oh, beautiful.
Oh, no! Run away!
Oh my god.
Such a smart move from Zest as well,
Where's
actually.
your god now?
The brain games going on right here from these two guys. Okay, in come
But
the
he
DTs.
has nothing at home to defend.
He has
right?
supply depot wall. He has scan as well. It's a single marine right there. He'll carry the weights, no problem. Oh, the repair. Okay, come on, DTs.
Nice.
Come on, DTs. There's a drop as well, by the way, in Zest's space right here. The Widowmine might be able to get quite a bit of damage done. Oh my god, that's nasty. Yeah, Zest needs to really make it work now with the Dark Templar. The missile turret does finish up here. So that one marine actually did save the day here. Quite crazy. Oh, Zest really wanting to get that medevac. Doesn't quite do so though. And now a Viking is here, really shutting down that Warprism even more. So that's gonna go down. Right?
Is it?
Right?
Is it though?
Should.
Is it though?
It might.
I would love to see him morph an Archon with those Dark Templars and just try to kill the Viking instead.
Oh my dear lord, it did get away, just barely. Oh, we have a pause. Oh no, there's a Widowmine here. Oh dear lord. That's gonna be a lot of damage right now. Let's see. You know what? I have this theory about Zest as well. I always think that he just doesn't do as well in the summer as he would do in the winter periods. When you see him in Home Story Cup and stuff, you can clearly see that he doesn't handle heats very well. You know, he's kind of like me in that sense. I don't handle heat very well. And yeah, I think he's
Maybe
gonna...
it's the heat. Maybe he's just. Did you see his body? He has that beach body. Maybe he's just
Oh,
out there surfing all day, all night in the summer, and in the
Maybe.
winter when it's getting cold, he's at home practicing.
yeah, maybe that's the thing. Please pause. Should we ask if he's okay?
Yeah.
I'll do it. I'll send him a... You okay? Okay. That's all he needed. So have somebody ask if he's gonna be okay. 3, 2, 1.
Game resumed.
You know, all of us need that sometimes.
True. 4 more probes did die there, by the way.
Oh.
He's lost
Says-
18 in total right now.
He's at 35 workers. Oh my god. He could be at like 45,
Yep.
probably.
Yep.
Even with some losses.
Yeah.
This is not the match Zest was hoping for.
Nope. I mean, he's gonna have an uphill battle if he doesn't win this one. But you know what? If somebody can do it, it could be Zest, right? Zest's an absolute beast overall. We'd love to see him still somehow pull a rabbit out of his hat right now. Comes in with some more GTs, but there is the missile turret there and a siege tank as well.
I'm always surprised of the range that missile turrets give vision to.
Yeah.
Like, I did not expect this to be in vision at all.
It is quite a bit indeed, yeah, true. But
Add-on
it's
complete.
the nice thing. It's the nice thing. Blizzard being a good guy, you know, making it a little bit easier, a little bit less frustrating overall.
Good guy Blizzard.
Yep. It happens. It happens sometimes.
But then again, you have those moments where you just dropped all your mules, you go across the map with your army, or you are across the map with your army, and suddenly there's like 10 Dark Templars blinking in, and you're like, oh no!
Oh dear. Alright, well, this is one way to lose this. Yeah. I've been there. I've been there. But yeah, DTs, they are a very, very fun tool overall, you know. It kind of has adding a lot of attention as well for the spectator side of things. Playing against them though, oh my dear lord. It can be so frustrating, right? Because it is one of those units that just requires a lot of extra attention and a lot of extra care overall. It's just not enough to have a good amount of force somewhere. You need to have the stealth detection as well, or at least the possibility to get stealth detection there in case of need. And
Also, like, against Zealotron buys or drops or anything, you can just have spotting units, spotting pylons, anything on the map, right?
Yeah.
But those DTs will just sneak past it, which makes it super frustrating to deal with because you have no idea it's coming unless you have eyes of an eagle and by chance are paying attention on that side of the map. Now,
Yep.
I like Zest's idea of just sieging the gold mineral line with his units over here.
yeah, this is a very difficult place for Dream to engage. I mean, he has extended to Milan, so he can just let the Colossus do its job here. But then we do have a single Viking there as well, making it a little bit more difficult. Alright, don't worry about it. The Blink DTs will be coming in pretty soon here. And they will save the day, hopefully.
Zest has that Zest mineral bank as well. He just went up to 1,400 minerals.
It's what he does. It's what he's best at.
Zest is best.
Saving money. Oh, this is awkward.
War Prism is like, I'm out of here.
It's like, okay, I can just drop the Marines to kill this warp. Oh my dear lord, what's that on the ground? That's a gazillion Dark Templar.
Why are they dying?
Right, well, at least it's not just the Blink DTs, right? We have Colossi on the map as well, forcing the Vikings out from Dream, but I'm not quite sure. We already have so much in response to that type of tech, right? In the form of those siege tanks, and now the Vikings coming in as well. I would love to see Zest actually going up to Disruptors or going into Storm as well, because you know what, the thing that people always, at least what I always find him the best at, is the overall his micro skills, right? The control of his units at the front of the battles, the harassment stuff that he can do. And I think just overall, just those couple of extra AoE kind of things could definitely help him out quite a bit. Then I guess
agree.
you would have less time to blink DTs everywhere.
God. Oh my god. I bet you he's not going to split them up. He's just forcing them into the third base.
Yeah. You know, it's funny. He has more DTs than he has Stalkers. Or at least he had. Oh, well. Alright, there goes the War Prism. But
There goes the drop as well.
this is how you handle this, guys. This is how you deal with drops.
You just get 15 Dark Templars and then you blink them under the medevac.
Who needs Stalkers to shut down the medevac itself when you can just kill whatever comes out of the medevac? Denying more mining on this gold base, and let's take a look at the income graph. Yeah, every time that happens, we do see a nice spike there into Zest's favor, but you know what, Zest has been taking some losses at home as well. The drops off Dream have been achieving here and there. There's some nice
What
bit
base?
of harassment.
Dark Templars are coming in.
Dark Templar, run. Run, Dark Templar. Get out of there. It's not safe.
Some sounds of units dying are just really fun.
Yeah. Like Dark Templar.
Oh my
like...
Oh.
It's like the sound I imagine players making whenever a disruptor shot is about to make a big hit as well.
Yes. Yes. Oh my god, Oh, Dark Templar!
Coming in right there, shuts down that planetary at the same time. Some probes are dying due to the harassment as well. There is a drop over here, another attack coming in from the top side for Dream. But overall, Zest, you know what, I think he's just dealing a bit more damage right now. As long as he can stim the bleeding here, stop taking losses at home from this drop as well. That would be the way to do it. He does have a lot of Stalkers here available, but of course now poking into these other bases right now. These Dark Templar, they got EMP'd at some point. There is the recall. Finally will shut this down overall, and after 30 workers lost there for Dream, this is a nice moment in time for Zest. Needs to get himself the melee upgrades though, or at least another upgrade on the DTs.
What are we watching? 42 SCV kills for Zest and 35 probe kills for Dream.
Yeah, and we're only about 13 minutes in. 5 plus, so 20 Dark Templars already have been made in total here.
Oh my god. By the way, I love how Zest is just expanding on the bottom side of the map. Really just taking off some pressure of what Dream could do. If he had expanded along the top side of the map, you might have seen a big push by Dream, but as it is that the map is split in half through those mineral lines, it gets really hard to just move across the map with everything and challenge their Naxai.
Yeah, for sure. That's a good point. It's gonna be interesting once he tries to expand to the to this base over here with the pylon and the gateway blocking it already, but it is a nice way to kind of force his type of battle, right? Where he just likes to go for the harassments and stuff like this instead of the straight up big fights. He's gonna be able to to force the style that he enjoys. So, weird one. Shooting one of his own SCVs. Okay. I guess the time for Dark Templar has passed.
Nah, five additional Dark Templars warping in.
Oh, right, never mind. They just need to go elsewhere, that's all. It's like, no, it's never passed to go Dark Templar. We just need them elsewhere right now. This Attackful Dream, he has finally gotten rid of enough golden minerals there to allow his forces to enter the bottom area of the map right now. Will Zest actually try to deal with this, or is he just going to go for a big counter attack? I'm not sure if I'm a big fan of the Archons, because we've seen so many ghosts absolutely everywhere. Well, gonna have to wait and see. 2 ghosts here. Massive EMPs. Look at how quickly those Archons are melting away. That's nuts. Losing another Nexus here on the bottom side of the map as probes are trying to evacuate everything. Zest is going in for a little bit of an aggression as well with these Zealots, but I feel like that... Oh, wait, hold up. DTs are here as well. Showcasing their strength once more. More probes though. Look at this. Another Nexus under a lot of pressure here. And I think Dream may be doing it right now. Looking at the supplies at this moment in time, the work count's still fairly similar, but there's just nothing here to help out the small cluster of Marines, Marauders, and Ghosts here to stop that
Nothing
from killing
but
everything.
2 Dark Templars. Oh.
The 2 buddy Dark Templar, who just finished Dark Templar school. Alright.
Okay, guys.
Well then, one more game. Possibly. Match point here for Dream.
I'll leave you with that, because I'll be heading out to cast another series.
Alright.
Match between Bunny and Patience. I'm sure there will be a lot of Dark Templars as well.
I hope so for you. Probably not as many as we'll have right here, though.
Well,
But-
make sure to head on over to Africa TV once this is done, and cheer for your players.
All right, we'll do. All right, we're heading into Golden Pillars on our own. Thank you, Black One, for joining me, by the way, as well today. Had a good
Thank
time,
you.
and yeah, we'll talk later again. All right,
Sure. See you around. Bye bye.
see you, man. Bye bye. All right, there we go. Yeah, we go. We have these boys in the lobby right now, and Zest and Dream, they're itching to go. Let's just start it up and see where it will take us. Frame. Let me see. I'm getting messaged here as well. Alright. Game is loading up as we are looking forward to potentially the final game here. It all comes down to Zest. I mean, Zaun, he had a really close series versus Dream, and suddenly, you know what, Zaun, looking even more impressive here because of this, because, you know what, Zest is having such a difficulty versus this man. Maybe Dream is just warmed up now. That could be the case, but anyway, we'll have to wait and see. Here we go. Best of 7. Will this be the final one in this series right now? We have a pink Protoss fighting for Razor Edge Gaming. He is none other than Zest. On the top right side, we have ourselves a red Terran player fighting for Bravestar Gaming. He is Dream. So far for Zest, we've seen a lot of the overall Blink Stalker openings, right? Dream's gone for a lot of Hellion aggression. And the Blink Stalkers, they should do pretty okay against it, right? But I think the best thing we've seen working against it was really the Proxy Stargate, in a sense. Dealing a lot of damage as well to Dream, because that is you know, abusing a little bit of an opening that you might have. Since, you know, you don't have the Cyclone, you don't have that many Marines. If you do go for those... oh my. That's a big block. Alright, so yeah, if you don't go for the... if you do go for the Hellion attack... Zest is coming down here, gonna get a little bit annoyed, flustered by the engineering bay. That's gonna be take a long time to clean that up. So Zest already adding in the second gas right here, getting himself another pylon, the Zealot instead. We are going to have to wait and see where they will take it overall. Dream comfortably now sitting on his own command center here. Of course, this expansion that's coming up. And there's the factory, suspiciously close to the barracks. Could already be an indicator that it could become a reactor with the Hellions right here. Okay, down goes that engineering bay. But as you can see, this is such a big delay right now. Command center is supposed to be later than the Nexus overall, right? It should complete later on. But instead, overall, what we have right now is the command center almost about finished up as the Nexus is just only now started. Twilight Council and the Robo once more the attack of choice here by Zest. And, oh wow, okay, there is once more a Dark Shrine. This time around though, not getting scouted just quite yet for Dream. Let's see, well, okay, he is going to go for Widowmine drop, so won't go as quickly into the Raven as he could do otherwise. Because he will want to he will want to get himself a medevac with this, of course. Would be the logical way to do this. As Zest is just attempting to keep the scouts from gaining access to his base here, and does manage to do so. So again, Dream kind of falling short there. He does get 2 probes overall, but doesn't get to go into the main base and see something rather crucial here, right? He will send a couple of Marines with this attack as well, I think. Looked like he would. Okay, no, we'll just send out the Widowmines. That's all he's going for right now. War Prism. 2 ships in the night, not quite yet seeing each other. Unaware of how close they came to be spotted. Both of these drops, these early on attacks coming in right now. We don't have any missile turrets. We do not actually have any scan energy right now available either, so this could be a big one. We just had some fresh mules being dropped down, and right now quite a bit of damage is being done here. The probes, 4 of them do go down, but of course then the Widowmines have done their damage. They need to get out of there again here. Alright, Dark Templar just need to hold position whenever they get close to those SCVs, and already so much damage right now. He's just gonna let it continue onwards. Okay, the War Prism does go down, but ultimately 21 workers here killed off for Zest. And, well, if there was any question for Zest or any opening that he would love to have here, this is going to be the one. Oh, that Widowmine almost, if that would have been a hit, oh my god. That got close, but didn't quite work out there for Dream. Dream will get himself the Raven now. So he should be a little bit better prepared in case there will be more DTs as a follow-up. Which, you know what, it's S, so most likely, yes, that is going to happen here. Dream, he's still on 30 army supply, right, versus 13, so this, again, could be something nice, especially because there's most of the supply right now in this War Prism and the 3 Dark Templar. Widowmine again here, getting 5 probes this time around. Okay, that is the Warp Prism. Nothing there for Dream. Did he pull the boys? Or actually, no, he didn't. It's just that he lost so many of his workers that it looks like he did. That is a bit ridiculous. Okay, now sends across the SCVs, actually the entire other opposite way. There's again still no watchtower, or I mean the missile turrets here. Dream will come into the base though, has the Raven here with his army. A nice set of units. Honestly, it's going to be difficult for Zest to really make work. I think Dream should just try to push into the main base here, waiting for that siege tank to get into an appropriate location, sending across the rest of his SCVs as well. This has just become a full base trade right now. Dark Templar from behind, taking a couple of pot shots, is the Archon from the siege tank. The Warp Prism is coming back now as well. He just left one single Dark Templar behind here. That should get picked off right from the auto turret. Yep, okay, now we know who wins that fight. And this is, you know what, this is still a little bit of a scrappy game. I think Dream is just taking a little bit too long to get inside of this base here. And now because of this, I mean, Zest got the opportunity to make the shield batteries. He got the opportunity to get another warp in, and Immortal is here right now. It's all available. Let's see these two auto turrets though, still gaining a lot of value. But I don't think it is going to be enough here. Yeah, Zest should be able to clean this up later on. Dream, this is a rough one, but you know what? He killed off the Nexus. There's only a one base for Zest, but ultimately we just have so little mining going on here for Dream. It would be hard to imagine him actually being able to make a comeback here. 3 SCVs attempting to get back home again. Trying to find their way. As Dream tries to find another, you know what, another little bit of damage here. He still has to do quite a bit more, and also hold on to the counterattack coming in from Zest right now, which seems like a very tough thing to do. He only has those 2 Ravens, really has the firepower, and a couple of Marines without any upgrades as well. Probes are dying here a little bit though. Nice targeting there, but ultimately this is again, you know what, units of Dream going down as he really doesn't have that much. 13 workers versus 26 right now. 2 more Nexuses coming in for Zest. He is doubling down on the victory here. It looks like Zest will be able to take this one. He just needs to carefully get himself sorted in the overall position of this game, right? Slowly guide his units into the position to win this one. He lost 11 probes again there. Maybe aggression like this, not the best choice right now. I suppose, you know what, it was better than nothing overall, but losing units is one of the ways that I could lose this game still, I'd say. Just staying back, letting those 3 Nexus do their thing, make a lot of probes. Could be quite a ton of value already on its own. To be fair though, of course, Zest incapable of seeing the worker difference right now, so if he knew, maybe he would be approaching this a little bit differently, but well, he doesn't, so he's still trying to get a little bit more poke damage here and there in. Can't fault him for that one either, of course. This is a nice thing to do. The more damage you get done in this situation, the easier it will be to walk yourself into a place of victory. 6 probes again though going down here because of harassment, as Zest is busy on the other side of the map. Interference matrix here could be dangerous as well. Leave some units stranded. Doesn't quite happen though. Zest not allowing it to happen here. And you know what? Suddenly we're back at a 25 worker versus 33 worker difference because Dream just relentlessly kept going again with the harassments. And Zest being busy with harassment of his own, not quite being able to shut it down. And the Raven over here, look at that, 12 kills. A lot of those are in fact the probes. Zest preoccupied. Did he lose the Warp Prism here? No, okay, it's still there. He did lose the previous Warp Prism though earlier on. Oh, I love this as well. One Raven harassing on the 3rd base, and now another one coming into the main base. This is a little bit ballsy though, coming into the natural base as well. Might be able to get some more probes though for his trouble. But let's see if he gets out of there as well still. Even gets a sentry. That's nice. Four probes and a sentry. It's getting closer and closer again, but losing a couple of units as well here due to the Archon drop. And yeah, I mean, Dream slowly but surely looking like he will be starting to gain some more momentum here. As the worker difference only 3 apart right now. You have to wonder, Zest, is he trying too much to try and shut down his opponent here and just finish it off instead of just getting himself the next level of attack, getting himself the probes that he needs, defense the 3 bases, right? Expand and make defense, as White Ra always is saying. I guess he doesn't have him as an announcer here, doesn't have him activated. Wow, this Warp is a little bit lucky there, moving in between the scouting forces, still finding a way in. Oh dear lord, what was this?
Game paused.
That was a big leg spike. That was a big leg spike, yeah. I had it too. Alright, 3, 2, 1.
Game resumed.
Is this still a bit of harassment? Man, these Archons now finally finding a ton of damage. There is a massive attack for Dream though coming across the map as well. 1 Archon does fall, 10 SCVs though picked off just like that. This is mostly Marines. They won't do all that swell against this amount of Archons right here. But maybe using drops, he might be getting himself into a reasonable position again if he just manages to get more probe kills once more. Zest again looking like he wants to be the aggressor here in this situation. Dream really just mostly focused on getting more and more Marines. Didn't go for the drop into the main base. I thought for a moment that would be what we were gonna see there. The 3 medevacs is just relying more so on the Ravens over here to dish out some damage now and again. Okay, there is the drops now coming in as well. Let's have another Raven here. It's been locked up by this one single Stalker, but finds some more potential at the natural base as he distracts Zest here with the Marines. There's a big flank though being set up by Zest right here, ready to intercept any reinforcements, and now actually moving into the natural base of Dream, it looks like. Alright, you know what? It's starting to become a tough one to call again a little bit. 6 more probes go down. 29 workers versus 29. But this attack over here from Zest, of course, it will have to be dealt with if Dream wants to have a chance in this game. He has a reasonable amount of force available. Oh my god, this is a big fight right here. Zest actually maybe over sending a couple too many units to the opposite side of the map. I guess he is doing a lot of damage, but now what does he still have left at home? It's 2 Zealots here, and okay, well that's still a good amount of Zealots right there. Upgrade-wise, there is +1 available, but this is just too much. He needs to pick up right now. He needs to pick up right the hell now. Getting himself into the main base. Extremely dicey. Fuck me, there's a Wasp here. I do not like Wasps anymore. Sorry guys, I'm freaking out. Oh dear lord. I'm absolutely terrified now. Recently got stung by one, it was not a pleasure. It's actually yesterday. I am... Oh dear lord. I don't know where it went. I'm terrified. Why does this keep happening? Alright. TT here in Dream's base. Getting some work done. The medevacs and the Viking here in the top left side, not really finding much of value there, I suppose. There he goes again. Right. Sorry guys, I need to catch this man. I'm just absolutely terrified of these guys now. Before I just disliked them, now I'm... fervently opposed to their existence. Okay, this is weird. Alright, he went off again. Dream, I mean, from the positions that he found himself in this one, I mean, he's still making this a little bit of a game. Unfortunately, does drop here in this location, though. That is a bit of a bummer. The army supply is still quite close to one another. And Zest, I mean, to be fair, he is still just on the gateway forces here, right? I get he does have the Archons, but we're starting to get the Ghost here as the ultimate counter to the Archons right now available for Dream. So, yeah, Zest is adding the Templar Archives as well as the robotics bay. Is it too little? Is it too late? Would have loved to see that like 5 to 6 minutes ago, right? When he had a big advantage and just stayed on the defense, tech up right there, and take that overall worker advantage that he found himself with and ride that into victory. Instead, we're having a little bit of a different scenario here. One Dark Templar chasing a Ghost, actually. It's always funny. Nice reaction there for Dream. Please don't be on my head, Mr. Wasp. Thank you. I just... oh my dear lord. Alright. Okay. Big drop. It's actually a small drop. A couple of Marinas trying to kill off the probes. As they do. A massive scout here from Dream trying to find anything on the left side of the map here. Not sure what he was expecting to be over there, but... I mean, man, this is just nuts, isn't it? This game, it felt like it should have ended multiple times already. Yet, here we are, almost 19 minutes in this game. The supplies are pretty dead even. The worker count is pretty even as well. Zest is taking more damage from the Raven harassment right now as well. It's even going to get out of there, I'm pretty sure. Yep, that is nuts. That is absolutely nuts. And if Dream can get himself from such a horrendous position in this game into a pretty reasonable spot that he's finding himself in right now, right? An equal spot, I think this may... oh, wait, sorry. I guess I pressed Control X there at some point. Thank you, Cynical. But yeah, I mean, at some point, you have to wonder, like, how is Zest going to win this one if he, you know what, let a lead like that slide away from him, just like that. I guess he has to make something work. He has a good amount of army supply right now. The army of Dream as well is very split up. So if this source does get picked off right now, that could be pretty large. Oh, the Medevac's getting hit by the Widow Mines as well. But you know what? This army of Dream still pretty darn impressive. Let's wait and see if the Vikings will be able to catch these Colossi. You know what? Those Medevacs going down, that's actually a very big deal. Not a lot you can do anymore. Okay, more reinforcements coming in for Dream right now. Moving backwards, trying to deal with the War Prism. And it looks like he will shut this down. Zest, oh my dear lord. What in the world are we having here for dinner? What happened there, Zest? Oh my dear lord, that is so disappointing. That is so disappointing from Zest. Honestly, having such a magnificent lead. Yeah, how many workers did he kill at the start there? That was like 21 workers with the initial Dark Templar harassment. I want to see the workers graph here. Look at what happened there in that game. What in the world, man? Oh my god, look at that. Look at that. That's ridiculous. You had like 40 workers versus less than 20. And He almost had like 45 workers something for most of this game. He had... That's nuts. That is nuts. What you gonna do? What you gonna do? It's a 4-0 here for Dream in the finals. And that is that's going to be it for me for a little while here. I'm pretty sure we will have the we have Patience versus Bunny, of course, first and foremost. The Ravens MVP. Yeah, you could say that again. Those Ravens absolutely being fantastic players there. Let me try and find the thing that is going on right now. We are streaming on Afrika TV. If you guys want that to check out Patience versus Bunny in a best of 9 series, that is happening right now. Let me just show you guys right here. Patience versus Bunny should be a pretty darn tasty one, a spicy one. And go say hi to Mr. Black One for us, alright? Lovely German fella that we had co-casting here for a little bit, but had to go ultimately because this one was coming up. Alright, anyway, shutting that one down. There it is. Guys, thank you so much for watching. I'm gonna, I don't know, I'm gonna try to catch that wasp and not die in the process. And yeah, I'm gonna call it for now. I think we will be back with... I think we'll be back with Battlestar. I think that's going to be taking place on Trovo as well, so we'll be back later on today. I'm not quite sure what will be happening with that, unless if they're cancelling that. Sometimes does happen. I'm sorry about being a little bit of a monstrosity here with the lighting and stuff. The green screen's not quite working out. I look like an X-Men, really. I look like the... What's that? No, wait. I look like the guy with, like, the things happening with his face continuously. Rorschach? Something like that. I don't know. Talk to you guys later. Hope to see you later again. And have a good one. Love you all. Thank you for watching. Go check out Patience vs. Bunny. Bye-bye.